It's a battle of teams seeking twos on championship Saturday here at the 2018 NCAC Tournament at BA Memorial Stadium in Chillicothe. Wabash College enjoying a historic season with a program record 27 wins. And fresh off back-to-back wins over teams in the D3Baseball.com, top 25 poll is in the driver's seat with 2 chances to win a game. Little Giants are in search of their second NCAC tournament title and first since 2011. On the flip side, it's Wooster in search of its 3rd straight NCAC tournament crown, and should the Scots win 2 today, it'll mark the 2nd time in the history of the NCAC tournament a team has won 3 straight years. The other, that was Wooster 2004 to 2006. We'll step aside here on Wabash Live and be back with the starting lineups for Game 6 at the NCAC tournament.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III in athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Back here at BA Memorial Stadium, it's time now for the starting lineups. I'm Kevin Smith. I'll be joined alongside by Brent Harris for today's games. First, we'll have the starting lineup for the College of Wooster, the visitors, for this first game of the championship round. Scots will have to win 2 games for the tournament title. Wabash just needs a win. Leading off in center field, it's going to be Jake Flane. He'll be followed by second baseman Jacob Sturzma. Michael Wolanski, the shortstop, hits 3rd. Out in left field, it's going to be Dan Harwood in the cleanup spot. Garrett Crum at first base, hitting 5th. Drew Torno in right field will bat 6th. The bottom third of the Scots lineup is Dan Gale, designated hitter. Catcher Harrison Walls and third baseman Harry Whitworth Dukes getting the start after Chandler Dittman pitched a complete game against Denison last night. Getting the call on the mound's going to be senior left-hander Alec Hammond. Hammond 5-0 with a 4.38 ERA. And for Wabash, the home team, 27-15 on the year. It's going to be the same lineup as yesterday when these 2 teams met in the winner's bracket. That's going to be Jared Wolf leading off out in left field. Sean Rajinsky at second base will hit 2nd. Bryce Aldridge doing the catching, bats 3rd. In the cleanup spot out in right field, freshman sensation Andrew Jumonville. Yes. Jackson Blevins bats 5th at first base. Matthew Ane, the designated hitter, hits 6th. Shortstop Eric Chavez bats 7th. Center fielder Tyler Downing bats 8th. And third baseman Henry Wannemuller rounds out the lineup. Pitching today for the Little Giants, senior Tyler Cooper, 1-1 with a 2.01 ERA. Gonna be an exciting day here at BA Memorial Stadium, Brent. What's your outlook for today's games?
Well, it's going to be interesting because there are really 2 different types of programs. For Wooster, this is an expectation every year to be playing in the championship game, to go on to the regional, and to perform at the national level. Wabash is still building that type of program, and that's the expectation that it can build that type of program, bringing Jake Martin in. Jake certainly had great success down at DePaul as a head coach. He had success here at this tournament with his DePaul Tiger team, and he's had success at the regional level. Wabash wasn't quite there yet, but Jake has been a fantastic infusion of energy, of intelligence in terms of the game of baseball, and in terms of making it fun for his guys as well. I was down on the field with the Wabash players during their batting practice, and Jackson Blevins looked at me and he just said, "Have some fun today. This is what this game's about. It's just fun." Because at the end of the day, it's not about the wins or the losses. It's having fun. So that's kind of the attitude this Little Giant team is coming into it with. Nobody really expected them to necessarily be here, but here they are, one win away from winning a championship.
Yes, and for Martin, he's looking for his second NCAC tournament title. He won one as the Tigers head coach in 2014. We're going to step aside for the national anthem. Back here at BA Memorial Stadium with you 2 hours early today than originally scheduled, as there's a chance for some inclement weather in the Chillicothe area later today. Wanted to make sure we had ample time to do best effort to get both games in today, as Wabash's commencement is tomorrow, so a big day for the Little Giants, 6 seniors. Those are Brian Roberts, Cody Cochran, Jordan Hansen, Tyler Cooper, Tyler Downing, and Bryce Aldridge.
That was kind of a joke yesterday after the win, as we were talking to the players and so forth, and I talked to some of the seniors, and they all looked at me and they said, okay, so what are we missing Saturday? I said, well, the senior breakfast is nice, but, you know, in terms of playing baseball, it's overrated. And right about now, the Wabash seniors are just leaving the chapel because they had their rehearsal for tomorrow's commencement event with Professor Jim Cherry, the marshal for commencement. So I know there are a lot of guys probably headed back to houses with their families, maybe going out and grabbing a quick bite to eat, but then gathering around computers. I bet the Lambda Chi's have a bunch of computers out in the yard or have the audio on listening to this game. So we say hi to all those seniors, and it'll be an exciting day tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will hold off tomorrow and we can have commencement outdoors, but just a special day for all these 6 seniors, including senior starter Tyler Cooper.
Yes, Cooper appeared in yesterday's game, faced one batter. He's getting the call today. Cooper is 1-1 on the year with a save at 2.01 ERA. This will be his 15th appearance, 4th start. He did 4 innings of work in the regular season against these two teams, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, a walk, and a strikeout. His last start came against Rose Holman last Sunday, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts.
Koopa's been just a fairly consistent pitcher. He said he was just a little overhyped when he got into the game the other day, but he feels like that's going to help him because he's been out here now in tournament play, so he feels like he can settle in a little more. Be ready to go for the start today.
We'll have Jake Flane to start us off. The championship round. Flane, one of the 6 Scots who will make the walk across the stage on Monday at the College of Wooster. Others will be Drew Torno, Alec Hammond, the starting pitcher for today, and then James Usher, Nanak Saran, and Ethan Myers. Cooper's first pitch skips off the mound. That's going to be an infield single for Flane, and we're underway here in the championship round.
Well, you know, they always say get net front presence, get a stick on the ice, and maybe you can get a deflection. That time it was the rubber deflecting the ball high in the air. John Roginski hauled it in, but had no opportunity to try and throw Flane out, and did the wise thing, just ate the baseball, didn't make a mistake, didn't rush a throw, you know, keep things in perspective.
Yeah, so now it's Jacob Sturzma. Flane and Sturzma flip-flopped in the lineup for today's game. Sturzma's 3 for 11 here at the 2018 NCAC Tournament. Has a double and an RBI. And there's a strike. 0-1 on Sturzma. Our umpiring crew today, Ron Black calling the balls and strikes. Joe Kimbrough down at first. Wes Legge at second, and Clark Husky gets the assignment at third base. Here's the 0-1 from Cooper. Downstairs, count now a ball and a strike with Flynn at first, underway a couple minutes early with you 2 hours early than originally scheduled. Wabash needs a win here to win the tournament. Wooster will need 2 wins today as the 1-1 dips downstairs. Count now 2-1 on Sturzma, with Michael Wolanski on deck. Cooper comes set. Here's his 2-1 check swing. Appeal down to first base did not go. Count now 3-1 on Sturzma.
Wabash defense aligns as it normally does. Wolf in left field, Downing in center, Jumonville in right, Wannamuller, Chavez, Rodzinski, and Blevins across the diamond on the infield. Aldridge behind the plate, handling the receiving duties for Tyler Cooper.
All senior battery as the runner's off there, and the pitch is fouled out of play. First base side, full count now on Sturzma. Jake Fling does have 6 stolen bases on the year, just outside the top 10 on the program's all-time list. See if he's running again here. Sunshine to start. Pretty stiff wind blowing out towards right down the line. Check on Flynn at first. He's back in with a dive. It's 327 down the left field line. 368 out to left center. 382 to center. 345 to the right center gap, and 325 down the right field line. Here's a 3-2 from Cooper. Fly ball, that's going to be out to left field. Wolf tracking over. He's under it. Backpedals a few steps and makes the catch for the first out of the game.
Yeah, not a bad start for Cooper, particularly compared to his outing when he came in and was again a little overhyped. Gave up that hard hit single up the middle to begin the game that popped up off the rubber, but did a good job with the 3-2 count there, delivering a strike, getting the fly ball out from Sturzma.
Yes, tough break to start with that one, hitting the rubber and going straight up in the air, allowing the speedy Fling to get down there easily to first base. Here's Wolanski now. First pitch dips downstairs, ball 1 on Wolanski, who's now hitting north of 400 again, 68 for 169 on the year. He has 67 runs and 31 extra base hits. The 1-0 downstairs, ball 2 to Wolanski. Flame's still on first. We'll see if he's trying to steal. We saw him run on the 3-1 pitch to Sturzma as head coach Tim Petterini put on the hit and run. Cooper comes set. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's inside. 3-0 on Wolanski now, who does have 36 walks on the year. He's 5 for 10 at the 2018 NCAC Tournament. Homer shy of the cycle for the tournament. Here's the 3-0. Bullseye right down Broadway. Count 3-1 on Wolanski. Dan Harwood waits on deck. Jake Fling at first. We're still scoreless here in the top of the first inning in the championship round of the 2018 NCAC Tournament. Time called. We're going to have some issues as the umpiring crew is going to come together. Did it look to you like maybe first baseman Jackson Blevins was signaling that maybe Cooper wasn't completely on the rubber with that last pitch, maybe?
Not sure. Not sure what the conversation might be about. But Blevins had a quick word for Cooper, and he's going to retreat back to first base. Henry Wannamuller still on the mound with Coop, while the 4 umpires gather in front of the mound. Hear the crowd a little impatient.
Yep. Need a pool reporter for the NCAC tournament now so we can get clued in as to what's going on.
We'll see. If we were close to Indianapolis, I could say, well, they're looking at which steak place downtown they wanted to go to, get a wine order in early. Candlesticks are always nice, Kevin.
Yes, all right. So we're back in.
Find out where they're registered.
We're back in business now. 3-1 on Wolanski. Cooper on the extreme third base side of the rubber. He comes set. Here's his pitch. Runner goes. Wolanski with the fly ball out to left field. Wolf tracking it. He's back on the track right in front of the wall, and he's going to make the catch. Jared Wolf getting a lot of action here in the early going, back-to-back flyouts to the junior left fielder.
You've got a high sky today, not many clouds, which is actually good news because it means the weather may hold off. We had heard chance of showers today, which again, the reason for the early start, but that could make some fly balls a little difficult to track. We saw Henry Wanamueller have problems with one just a day ago with the same type of high sky.
Here's Harwood, leadoff man up reach. That's Flynn with a single to start the game. He's still standing on first base as the first pitch from Cooper downstairs to Harwood. Harwood gave the Scots the 3-1 lead last night in elimination game, won 4-2 by the Scots with a 2-run homer out to right field. Here's Cooper's pitch. That sails outside 2-0 on Harwood.
You mentioned Cooper on the far right side of the rubber. He'll actually get the sign from Aldridge on the far left and then work toward the first base side, then works his way to the right side to throw.
Harwood's ahead in the count now, 3 balls, no strikes. Harwood for the tournament 5 for 12. He scored 3 times, has 4 runs batted in. 8th all-time in single season program history for the Scots with 66 runs batted in, most since All-American Jamie Lackner had 69 in 2015. We saw Lackner in attendance here today as the 3-0 pitch is in there for a called strike on Harwood. Cooper comes set. Here's his pitch. Runner goes. Harwood slices that one out of play left side into the picnic area.
Group of Wabash parents down in that area, including Tyler Downing's parents.
Mentioned Jake Martin, the head coach of the Little Giants, has some tournament experience on his staff in terms of the NCAC as far as it's concerned in recent history. Reed Pettard, former standout for the DePaul Tigers, on staff with the Little Giants. 3-2 pitch, that's going to be grounded right side. First baseman Blevins in time. He bobbled it at first, but made the play in time. Cooper over there to cover. And we're through the bottom of the first with no score here on Wabash Live.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
Bottom of the first inning here at BA Memorial Stadium, 2018 NCAC Tournament Championship round. I'm Kevin Smith, joined alongside Brett Harris for today's action. Time now to take a look at the Scott starter, senior Alec Hammond. He's 5-0 with a 4.38 earned run average on the year. This will be Hammond's 8th start, 9th appearance overall. He's worked 37 innings, 38 hits, 25 runs, 18 of those earned. He's walked 20, struck out 19, and the opposition is hitting .262 against. Last 3 starts, he's 1-0 with a 7.24 ERA, spanning 13 2/3 innings. 13 runs, 11 of those earned, 7 walks. Going to be key for Alec to get out to a great start today, Brent.
Well, and to counter that, what we've seen from Wabash throughout this entire tournament is the Little Giants have been able to score some runs early and get their starters a lead, and that was a little different from the final 2 weeks of the season where they were falling behind teams, having to battle to come back, or just falling behind and not able to regroup. So if Wabash can get off to another fast start, try and put some runs up early, make the Scots chase them. That's what the Little Giants did when these two teams met yesterday, and that's what Wabash did in the Denison game as well.
Yes, and that started with Jared Wolf, who's leading off today. He had a double to start yesterday's game as part of a 2-for-5 day. 2 runs and a run batted in was Wolf. In the winner's bracket game overall at the NCAC tournament, 2 for 9, 3 runs, a double and a run batted in. Here's Hammond's pitch, in there for a strike. This season, Wolf has 2 runs batted in against the Scots. He's behind in the count here. No balls and a strike. He swings at that one. That's lifted out to center field. Jake Flane will not get there, and that gets down for a hit. And similar to yesterday when the Little Giants were getting leadoff men on board early and often, that theme carries over to today, Brent.
Yeah, both teams now with leadoff hits. Little Giants were able to get out of the top of the first without allowing Jake Fling to advance beyond first base. So again, Wabash wanting to get off to that fast start. Let's see if they can move Wolf up and try and get him into scoring position.
And it's Sean Rodzinski now. 337 on the year. We'll see if he's bunting. Wolf does have good speed at first. 10 steals on the year. Here's the pitch. Paints the outside corner at the home of the paints for strike 1. Hammond so far 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Rodzinski scored his 100th career run during yesterday's 7-3 win over Wooster in the winner's bracket. He takes upstairs there, evening the count at a ball and a strike. Needs 2 doubles to move him into the top 10 all-time at Wabash. He's got 16 of those on the season. That ranked tied for 5th in the NCAC at the beginning of the week, and he fouls the 1-1 pitch back to the netting. Rodzinski looking to battle back after being down in the count here, 1 and 2. We're still scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning. It's even at 1 apiece in the early going at BA Memorial Stadium. Still a pretty steady wind out to right field for the first game of this championship round. Salmon comes set. Here's his 1-2 upstairs, evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a double elimination tournament.
This is a count where Martin has often tried to get something going with a little hit and run, try and create a little motion. Might be hampered a little bit by the left-hander on the mound.
That pitch is lifted out down the third baseline where Duke's giving chase, and it's going to get into the picnic area down the left field line. Do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Scott Olmstead, Wabash photographer, of course, father of offensive line coach Omi Olmstead. Scott, a fixture at Wabash events for years as official photographer.
Here's Hammond's 2-2, tries to nibble on the corner just outside. Count now full. How we got here, Wabash beat Denison 4-2 in the second game on Thursday and won 7-3 over the Scots yesterday in the winner's bracket. Wooster eliminated Denison 4-2 in yesterday's third game. Runner goes, there's a grounder through the left side under the glove of a diving Whitwer Dukes, and back-to-back singles here in the first inning for the Little Giants.
So the Little Giants getting exactly what they want, men on base with Bryce Aldridge coming to plate. Aldridge, we've talked about throughout the week, has been more than just one of the top offensive players for Wabash. He's been an outstanding leader. He's really taught some of the younger players, particularly the freshmen that are in the lineup, plate presence, understanding how to hit what's thrown to you, how to make adjustments at the plate, and he's just been a tremendous leader in just 2 short years in the program.
You mentioned he'll be sticking around to provide that leadership and mentorship to the younger Little Giants next year as well.
Yep, he will. He'll finish up. Of course, he transferred from the University of Indianapolis, so he'll have some final courses to finish up. And, of course, the ever-popular and always enjoyable oral comps. So he will help out the baseball program while he's finishing up.
First pitch downstairs to Aldridge from Hammond.
And he will be looking for grad school opportunities past that. And I'm sure if time allows, will be involved with the baseball program somewhere.
Here's the 1-0 pitch from Hammond. right down Broadway, evening the count at a ball and a strike. Aldridge sits safely in 13 of his last 15 games. Did so yesterday in the winner's bracket, 1 for 3, a run batted in, a walk, and a strikeout when these two teams met just under 24 hours ago. Here's the 1-1 from Hammond. Lifted out to left field. Harwood charging in. It's going to fall. They're going to have a play at third, force out, and the throw, short hop, Whitworth Dukes, and in there with the dive is Wolf. That's going to be a hit for Aldridge, and 3 straight hits for the Little Giants to start this one.
Loading up the bases for the freshman, Andrew Jumonville, and he is one of the freshmen that has really taken the leadership that the older players have provided. But he stepped into the lineup really right from the start, became a presence out in right field. Will try and go get anything. We were down in Arizona playing in the big stadium, the former spring training complex for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He went chasing after a foul ball, slammed into the wall, flipped into the seats, and then just bounced right back and ran out to right field. There's a ground ball.
Shortstop Wolanski bobbles it for a moment. They'll try to get 2. They will not. So an RBI fielder's choice for Jumonville. Had a big chance to make an impact there. Brent, after doing the small ball yesterday, a big chance for the first year to make a big impact, and he comes through with the first run of the game.
Well, and that is one of the things Jumonville has done well, is he makes contact with the baseball. He finds a way to put it in play. That time, got a lucky break. Wolanski, very sure-handed. Normally, that would be a double play. That ball just stayed down on him a little bit, and it gave the Little Giants a chance to get the first run on the board.
Runners on the corners now with 1 out for Jackson Blevins. First pitch swinging, skies it out to right field. Drew Torno has it measured, puts it away. Runner tagging at third. Here's the throw. It'll be cut off by Crum. No return throw to the plate. And it's now 2-0 Little Giants. So we saw Jackson Blevins get a sacrifice fly yesterday, and he does so again today.
And again, just doing the things that you need to do to try and get runs on the board. And again, back to what we talked about, Wabash wants to be able to strike early. It's what they couldn't do during that 6-game losing streak, but they've done it all tournament long. They do it again here with 2 runs in the bottom half of the first inning.
Runner on first still for Matthew Anay, the designated hitter. 296 on the year. Here's Hammond's pitch. He's swinging at the first one, lifts it out to left field. And Harwood puts it away for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Little Giants strike for 2 here in the bottom of the first and lead this one 2-0 on Wabash Live.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division III. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
Back here at VA Memorial Stadium, Kevin Smith alongside Brent Harris. It's 2-0 Wabash as we head to the 2nd inning here in the championship round of the 2018 NCAC Tournament. It'll be 5-6-7 due up for the Fighting Scots against senior Tyler Cooper.
Yeah, 2 things that were important for that bottom of the first inning. It gives Wabash some confidence coming into this championship game. It kind of answers the question. You know, the Scots have been here year in, year out. But again, Wabash, the first time here since 2011, so you get some of those nerves out of the way. It also can help settle Tyler Cooper. Again, he mentioned he was nervous coming in the other day, couldn't get those nerves settled, and was just throwing, the plate was jumping around on him. Now he gets to come out on the mound here in inning number 2 with a 2-0 lead. Now, this is a Scots team that can put runs on the board in a hurry, but you've got them chasing thus far. So right now the pressure starts to move a little more toward the first base side of the bag into the Scots dugout. but still early in this ball game.
Yeah, Scott's the visitors in this one. Wabash, the home team, due to winning the winner's bracket game yesterday. Cooper's pitch just upstairs, ball one on Crum. That one paints the corner at the home of the Paints. A ball and a strike on Wooster's first baseman. 10th on Wooster's single season RBI list was 64. He had a home run in the opener against Kenyon on Thursday. Good curveball there from Cooper. Crum now behind 1-2.
Yeah, worked the fastball on the outer part of the plate, came back with an inside curveball, so moving the ball around well.
Goes with the high heat there, but it's down low, 2-2. Crum's 5 for 10 here in Chillicothe this week. 4 runs, 3 runs batted in. He's also walked and been hit by a pitch. A little bit out in front of that one. That's grounded out to shortstop. Throw over to first in time. As Chavez up with that one cleanly for the first out in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, Chavez has been a very reliable infielder really throughout his career. His 3rd year now as a starter. And his father and brother here from Albuquerque, New Mexico, got a chance to chat with them. They are normally watching back on the video. We usually hear emails from them through email that they're watching, but got a chance to chat a little bit after the win on Thursday.
He had a great week to come, picked a good week to finally make the venture into the Ohio weather.
Well, I think they're also helping Eric. It's a long trip back to Albuquerque, New Mexico for Eric Chavez for the summer.
They could potentially have to wait a bit to make that trip. With the win by the Little Giants today, they'll earn the conference's automatic bid to next week's NCAA tournament.
And it'll make a busy May for Wabash, which we can talk about a little bit.
Tornow grounds that one out to second. That's going to be fielded cleanly by Rajinsky, and 2 groundouts here in the second inning thus far for the Fighting Scots.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about. Cooper has come out, it looks like a totally different pitcher from when he came in yesterday. Just relaxed, throwing strikes, moving the ball around, as we mentioned, working the outside and inside part of the plate, and has drawn 2 ground balls here in the second inning after a couple of big flyouts back in the first.
Now it'll be Dan Gale. He's DHing today. First pitch strike from Cooper. Gale making his 3rd appearance here at the NCAC tournament. He's DH 2 games, caught last night. On the season, 1 for 9 against the Little Giants in 2 games played. Here's Cooper's 1-1. Big swing and a miss there by Gale, who's now behind the count, of ball and 2 strikes.
Good inside fastball, kind of jammed him on the hands just a little bit. Made it tough to get the bat through the zone.
Here's the 1-2. Down in the turf. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes on Gale, who bats with the bases empty here in the top of the second. Wabash leading Wooster 2-0 in the championship round of the 2018 NCAC tournament. The 2-2. That's going to be out to right field for the Scots' second hit of the game, so a 2-out base knock by Gale extends the inning.
Good piece of hitting, just got jammed on an inside fastball, swung through it, waited on a pitch outside, just took it to right field. So nice job at the plate by Dan Gale.
Now be catcher Harrison Walls now at the plate with Gale on first. Walls 468 on the year. He's 3 for 9 here at VA Memorial Stadium this week. Pair of doubles and a pair of runs batted in. He made it a 4-2 game last night against the Big Red. Looks at a curveball there for strike 1. Cooper comes set. Here's his pitch. Another dandy in there, and quickly ahead of Walls here. No balls, 2 strikes.
Again, moving the ball well. A curveball outside. Came back with that curveball inside and got both parts of the plate.
Here's Cooper's 0-2. Oh, nice snare there by Cooper. That one was right back up the middle, stuck the glove out there, and the ball went right into it. Kind of one of those, look what I found, Brent.
You know, I'll show my Blackhawks favoritism. A little Corey Crawford play. Tried to go 5-hole. Crawford says no. And it turns into an out. Nice play by Tyler Cooper to end the second inning. Wabash will bat in the bottom of the second. Little Giants lead it 2-0. You're watching the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Baseball Tournament. We're back in just a moment.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that. A lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. And in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Back here at VA Memorial Stadium, where it's 2-0. Wabash as we head to the bottom of the second. Kevin Smith alongside Brent Harris. It'll be 7-8-9 due up for the Little Giants, starting with shortstop Eric Chavez.
The Little Giants have gotten some good production throughout the season from this bottom part of the lineup. As a matter of fact, when we've been in a couple of those tough streaks throughout the season, it's been guys like Chavez and Tyler Downing who have really gotten some things going.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Chavez has 45 hits on the year. His average is back up over 300, 2 for 7 here so far at the conference tournament. First pitch from Hammond sails outside, ball 1.
He's batted from the left side most of the tournament because he's faced right-handers, so first time from the right side of the plate.
There's a called strike, even the count at 1-1. He had his 8-game hitting streak snapped when these two teams met in the regular season, but he was 12 for 29 during that stretch with 3 runs batted in. He's ahead of the count here, 2 balls and a strike. One of the top fielders in the conference, Chavez is second in the league in fielding assists. Here's a 2-1 from Hammond.
Yeah, he has just been continually a solid presence in the infield at that shortstop position. Looking forward to having him for one more year.
Hammond behind the count now 3-1, and that's going to be a walk. And for the second time today, Wabash has the leadoff man aboard.
Well, and now you run into the situation, and you already see Whitmer Dukes up near the cut of where the grass would be, because you have Tyler Downing at the plate, an excellent bunter, good speed, running back on the football team, and we'll see what Coach Jake Martin wants to do here if he's going to try and move the runner over with a good bunter at the plate.
Here's Hammond's pitch. It is bunted. It is popped up, but Hammond's unable to get there in time, and we're going to have a bunt single.
Not the best effort from Downing, but it ends up working. And again, the surface probably came into play there, because when you're on grass, that ball is going to die in the grass, and it's a little easier for Hammond to reach down and pick it up. Now, he does play on turf at Wooster, so he should be used to a little bit of that, but you know, it can be a different surface here, and that ball looked like it took just a little different hop than he was expecting, and just couldn't get a handle on it. So Wabash with 2 runners aboard here in the second.
Could have another bunt here as Henry Wannemuller steps in. He had a sacrifice bunt yesterday in the 9th inning when the Little Giants plated 3 insurance runs during a 7-3 win. He is showing bunt there. Pitch gets by Walls. We're going to have, pitch was a ball. We're going to have a wild pitch on that one. It looks like Walls was a little crossed up there.
Well, and this is what I was talking about. Wabash gets out to that 2-0 lead. all that pressure that really was on Wabash because Wooster has been here. They have the experience. So the pressure was really on the Little Giants. Now it is starting to shift over, and you're going to have a visit to the mound to try and calm Hammond's nerves and get him back in the groove.
Yes, and the Scots bullpen's already in action down the first base line.
And while there's a meeting at the mound for the Scots, Coach Cesar Barrientos is going to have a chat with Henry Wanamueller. You know, we've looked at our numbers. We've had over 5,000 people watch our broadcast throughout the week, and we appreciate each and every one of you that have joined us. We were talking to Coach Barrientos last night. His wife had the game on at her elementary school, and her kids were watching. We got a chance to see a video of the kids cheering when Wabash picked up the victory yesterday. So we may have 5,000 computers that have watched, but we have a few more fans, certainly at least at one elementary school back in the Indianapolis area.
Yeah, it's great to see so many people tuning in. It's been a great week otherwise thus far, and we're trying to beat the weather here today. Corner's still in, expecting a possible squeeze play. So the Little Giants try one against the Big Red, but Wanamueller's swinging, and he strokes a single out to left field. Harwood gets to it quickly, and it's now going to be 3-0 Wabash.
Well, Little Giant bottom of the order coming through, 3 consecutive base runners, a leadoff walk to Chavez, Downing with the bunt single, and now runners on the corners after Henry Wanamueller drives in the 3rd run of the ball game here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
And still nobody out, and it's turned back over to the top of the order. Jared Wolf, who started the game with a single, started yesterday's with a double. He's now 3 for 6 against the Scots here in Chillicothe this week. Here's Hammond's pitch. Looks at it, called strike right at the hollow of the kneecap.
Kevin, so important for Wabash to be able to score when they have these opportunities, because we know the Scots can put runs on the board in a hurry. They can play long ball. They can use extra bases. They can use their good speed to put runners in scoring position. So no lead is a safe lead when you're playing Wooster.
For now, it's a 3-0 lead, and they're going to say that hit Wolf, and that's going to load the bases with nobody out here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Second time today already, Wabash has loaded the bases. They had the bases loaded back in the 1st inning on an Aldridge bloop single down to out to left field, and Wabash took advantage with a fielder's choice on the infield, and that's going to do it for Hammond. His day is done.
Yeah, we mentioned when we previewed Hammond that he had a 7.24 ERA over his last 3 starts, so he's been scuffling a bit down the stretch. Needed to bounce back today, but was unable to do so. So he's going to get credited with an inning pitched, already 3 earned runs in, and he's responsible for all 3 runners on base. So sophomore Max Lackner, Jamie Lackner's younger brother, is going to have to try to navigate the Scots out of this one. Lackner making his 16th appearance. He's 1-0 with a 2.12 ERA. He's worked 17 innings. Allowed 4 runs, 4 earned, 5 walks, 12 strikeouts. Opposition is hitting .281 against Lackner. This is his first action here at Chillicothe this week. His last 5 outings, he's 1-0 with a 1.8 ERA. 5 innings, 8 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, a walk, and a strikeout. He's allowed 1 run in his last 10 outings, spanning 9 2/3. But obviously in a big pickle here with the bases full of Little Giants and nobody out in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
And Wabash turning its lineup over. You're at the number 2 spot with Sean Rodzinski. You've got Bryce Aldridge in the on-deck circle, who is swinging a very hot bat right now. Came into the game hitting .571 for the tournament, and already has a single in this ball game. So you really would like, if you're a fan of the Scots, you'd love to see a little ground ball on the infield, give them a chance to maybe, you'd love, the perfect play would be the count 'em up double play, 1, 2, 3, to try and not only keep a run from scoring, but also get the double play and get the 2 outs in the inning, because Little Giants loaded the bases, already have a run home here, and nobody out.
As the infield will definitely be in here for the Scots, trying to minimize the damage. I'd venture that Wooster's going to have the bullpen in action the rest of the day.
Well, and one of the things that does is, should this go to a second game this afternoon, if Wabash can stay out of their bullpen, the Scots already had to use a lot of players yesterday out of that pen.
We already have a mix-up with the signals between Lackner and Harrison Walls. As Lackner comes set, here's his pitch. Called strike on Rodzinski, who's now 4 for 11 at the NCAC tournament, 4 runs scored. Mentioned yesterday, scored the 100th run of his career. He's now hit safely in 15 of his last 17 games, going 24 for 63 during that span with 21 runs now. 6 runs batted in, chance to add to that here as the 0-1 pitch down in the turf, stopped by Walls to keep the bases loaded.
Always used to refer to him as Little Rojo. He was the younger brother of Andrew Rodzinski, who's here in the ballpark today. Graduated last year from the Wabash program. So we had Big Rojo and Little Rojo on the team.
And Little Rojo lifts one out to left field. Harwood tracking back on it. It's off the wall. So Little Rojo gets it done as 2 runs are going to come in. And Wolf had to slam the brakes on at third base last minute. So Little Rojo comes through, and it's now 5-0 Wabash.
2-run double for Rojo, and he put a charge in that one. Took it right off the make a plan to make it home, and that's what he did. Drove home 2 runs for the Little Giants to expand that lead to 5-0. So Wabash swinging the bat well here early, and it has been all through the lineup as all the 7, 8, and 9 hitters all come home. You've got Wolf at third, Rodzinski at second, and again, Bryce Aldridge at the plate.
And still nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Lackner comes set. Here's the pitch to Aldridge. First pitch swinging out in front of that one. Great play made in the Little Giants dugout. That looked like...
That was Eric Murphy.
Yeah, Eric Murphy.
Gotta like it when Murph makes a play down there.
Five runs, 6 hits for the Little Giants so far. Nothing on 2 hits for the Scots here in the second inning. That one's down in the turf, stopped by Walls, and the count's now 1-1 on Aldridge. Corner still in, expecting a potential squeeze play, but the way Aldridge has been swinging it, I wouldn't think they'd try it there.
I will guarantee you there is not a squeeze play on with Bryce Aldridge right now with nobody out.
He smoked that one down the left field line, foul. Aldridge now 4 for 11 on the year against the Scots. 2 for 4 here in Chillicothe. Here's Lackner's 1-2. Aldridge able to spoil that off-speed offering away to stay alive at the plate.
One of the things that's impressed me about Bryce Aldridge throughout his 2 seasons at Wabash is his ability to hit to all fields. Really goes with the pitch. We talked about his leadership, and he continues to show it by example at the plate.
He calls time here to reset. Down in the count of ball and 2 strikes.
We haven't talked about his defensive abilities. Of course, threw Tanner Johnson out by about 2.5 steps from his knees back in the first game for the Little Giants on Thursday in the win over Denison.
1-2. Tapper to the mound. Lackner able to get that one. Runner's going to hold at third. So jammed Aldridge there for the first out of the inning.
I'll say I didn't say he didn't have the swinging bunt squeeze play. Aldridge, again, great pitch that time by Lackner. Got it off the end of Aldridge's bat, just a tapper back to the mound, and Lackner doing exactly what you want to do. Just field it, throw to first. No chance for the runners to even think about breaking. So it brings Jumonville to the plate with 1 out and 3 runs home for the Little Giants here in the second.
Yes, Jumonville had an RBI his last time up. Fielder's choice to shortstop. That plated the first run of the game. Another big chance for the rookie.
Infield is going to come in here instead of back to double play depth, so they're going to try and take the run away.
Yes, because there's nobody on.
That's true.
Nobody on first. So Jumonville with a big chance to shine here after getting the job done with the little ball yesterday, and he skies that one down the right field line. Torno giving chase, and it's going to go just foul.
About 2 inches foul. So tried to get the wedge in, but just sailing foul. That one, a good pitch by Lackner. Again, kind of jammed him, didn't get the bat extended, and fouls that down the right field line.
Long look in by Lackner here. He finally comes set. Here's the pitch. Now it's going to go the other way and almost take out NCAC Assistant Executive Director Russell Kramer.
Russell with a quick duck down there in the corner. He's taking a few photos here and got a good chance to look at an NCAC baseball.
Most importantly, he protected the camera over himself.
Guard the camera first.
Here's Lackner's 0-2. Upstairs. Jumonville 2 for 11 against the Scots this year with an RBI. Both of those hits have been doubles. Of course, he had the 2 perfect sacrifice bunts in yesterday's winners bracket game. Lackner's 1-2. Gets that one out to right field line towards Torno. It gets over his head. And that's going to bring in 2 more runs, and Jumonville's going to get all the way to third. Torno was there, tried to reach up for it, and went over his head.
It looked like he was trying to get set. It looked like he was trying to get set to maybe try and make the throw to the plate, and as he did, the ball just kept sailing on it. And so he tried to get the glove up at the last second to try and protect it and maybe at least knock it down. But you know, you're trying to do so much as an outfielder, and we have seen him make some tremendous plays this entire tournament. And again, that pressure. It's a 5-0 ball game. You want to try and keep Wabash from getting that 6th run. And I think that time it ended up hurting them because I think he wanted to try and make the spectacular play rather than just make the safe play, make the catch. Maybe you throw the runner out at the plate, maybe you don't. But instead, he tried to make the spectacular play, and instead, it turned into 2 runs home, a runner on third, and still only 1 out.
Yes, and for Jumonville, that's his 3rd triple. The rookie's off to a good start with 3 runs batted in this one, and it's 7-0. Wabash, and we're still here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and we're going to have another pitching change. So that's going to, so Hammond's book, he went 1+ is going to be the final numbers on Hammond. He's going to be charged with 6 runs, all earned, and Lackner allowed a double, got to come back to the mound, and a triple in the 3 batters he faced. So now it's going to be Wyatt Lind who's going to come in to try to stop the bleeding here for the Scots. And he'll have a tall order right off the bat. And first baseman Jackson Blevins, kind of a really big pickup for the Little Giants this year.
Yeah, you know, we kind of joke on campus around the athletics complex. Wonder if there are any colleges closing this year. You know, it was an unfortunate situation. St. Joseph's College up in Rensselaer, Indiana, ran into some financial difficulty. So I don't want to make light of that. It's certainly a stressful time for everyone, for parents, for faculty, for staff, and for the students. So Wabash was one of several institutions that reached out early when the announcement was made back in February of 2017 that we are available. We will work with you in terms of students transferring, making sure credits count. That was the most important thing. And the nice thing was, you and I talked before the broadcast, the St. Joseph academic program matched up very well with the Wabash program, so it was an opportunity for some students who, you know, we actually had several students, many of them not athletic player, student athletes, I'll get it out here in a second, but just looking for their next college opportunity. Little Giants got some benefit in Jackson Blevins, another young man, Ike James, who was just a beast on the football field this year. Both recruited by Wabash initially, took the opportunity to go to St. Joseph's, and when that didn't work out, came to Wabash, and the Little Giants have certainly been grateful for their presence.
As here's a pitch to Blevins. Fouls that one straight back. Blevins sacrifice fly his first time up, in position to potentially do that again with Jumonville down at third base. Still one out here in the bottom of the second, and it's now Wabash 7, Wooster nothing. Wyatt Lind on for the 25th time this year, 3-0, 3.04 earned run average. He has Blevins following that one down the third base line. Lind pitched yesterday. Went an inning, a hit, a strikeout against the Little Giants this year. 2 1/3 innings over 2 appearances, a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He's ahead here, 0-2 on Blevins. Here's his pitch. Got Blevins chasing that one. So Lind comes in and gets the job done with a strikeout. Still 1 out to get, though, here in the bottom of the second. And the 9th man to bat in the inning is going to be designated hitter Matthew Ane.
I know not the at-bat Blevins wanted, but I go back to what he said during batting practice when I was down there with the team. You know, again, Wabash, a lot of the pressure on them, and he said, he just looked at me and said, hey, it's fun. Baseball's supposed to be fun. Let's have fun no matter what happens today. And right now the Little Giants are, and that's why they've been pretty loose, I would think.
There's a grounder out to second. Sturzma has that, and the side is retired in the bottom of the second, but not before 5 more Little Giants come across, and it's 7-0 through 2 innings here on Wabash Live.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Back here now for the 3rd inning in the championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament, where it's Wabash 7, Wooster nothing.
You know, again, a 7-0 lead, and sounds like a broken record, but it's not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination when you're facing a team like Wooster. One of the tops, unbelievable at putting runs up on the board. They have had no problem putting runs up in individual games. It's not just they score a lot of runs throughout 40 games in the regular season. They can put together really big innings. So 7-0 lead is nice for Wabash early in the ball game, but we are just in the top of the 3rd inning.
Yes, of course, these two teams have had some pretty wild regular season meetings over the last few years as well.
Including games here in Chillicothe.
Harry Whitwer-Dukes gets us started here in the top of the 3rd with his team trailing by 7. He's getting the start at third base today to give Chandler Dittman a chance to rest his arm a little bit. Dittman went the distance last night against Denison, elimination game, and came out on top of a pretty good pitcher's duel.
Yeah, really impressed with the performance by Dittman last night on the mound. He's played a solid third base, but then to be able to transition and go through those thoughts as a pitcher, really good effort last night.
Here's Cooper's 1-1 to Whitwer-Dukes. Downstairs, count 2-1 on the sophomore. He's at .414 on the year, looking for his 30th hit of the season. Cooper comes set. He's really pitched effectively. That's just his 38th pitch. Ends down in the turf, 3-1 on Whitwer Dukes.
Now, Wabash sent 9 batters to the plate in the bottom half of the second, so Cooper a lot of time on the bench. So it may take him a few pitches to get loose. He's gone 3-1 here to the leadoff man, Whitmer Dukes, in the top half of this inning.
Here's the 3-1. Whitwer Dukes fouls that out of play. Right side, count now full on Worcester's leadoff batter here in the top of the 3rd inning. Those of you just joining us, it's been all Wabash so far. Little Giants with 2 in the first, 5 last inning. Scott's already on their 3rd pitcher here in the championship round as that one's grounded to 3rd. It's going to skip off of the 3rd baseman, Henry Wadamuller, for an error.
Yeah, Henry looked like he wasn't quite sure of what hop to try and take that on. You know, Little Giants have played on turf more than I think they expected this year. Because of the spring weather, we've spent a lot of time over at Grand Park, north of Indianapolis and Westfield. So they do. Little Giants do have experience on turf, but that time a good hard hit ball by Whitmer Dukes, and Henry just unable to corral it.
So now the Scots trying to attack with their leadoff man on for the 2nd time of the game. In the 1st inning, it was Jake Flane who climbs in right now, who reached on a leadoff single that hit off the rubber on the mound, but he was stranded at first base the rest of the inning, and he's behind in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes, and we're going to have a fielding error on 3rd base coach Barry Craddock as well on that one.
Doc's got to make that play.
That's Doc's 2nd error in the last couple of weeks down in the 3rd base coaching box.
There have been some times where we've been in the same location as Wooster during spring break, and so it's always good to catch up with Doc and Coach Petterini and the rest of the Scott staff. Oftentimes, Wabash may just be wrapping up a game, and Worcester's getting ready to start one in a little bit, so we always get a good chance to catch up with the coaching staff.
That's going to be skied down the first base line. Blevins giving chase. It's going to get out of play. Do it again at a ball and 2 strikes.
Kevin O'Donnell in his 2nd familiar role. A lot of times you know him as a reliever for the Little Giants. He also manages the pitching chart and makes sure to get the foul balls back, or get balls back to the umpire for play. Takes a lot of pride in that, as well as his good pitching.
That one skied. Blevins in foul territory, drifting back, still drifting back, can't find it, finally makes the catch.
And he made that catch in fair ground. If that ball had dropped, he had to make the catch reaching over his right shoulder. Had the ball dropped, that would have been a fair ball and would have been a tough play, because you figure it hits the turf and maybe takes a bounce. And that could have been trouble for Wabash. Great job by Jackson to track that in.
It's now be Jacob Sturzma. He flied out to Jared Wolf out in left field in the 1st inning. That's going to be a wild pitch as it skips in front of Aldridge. Nothing Aldridge could do on that one.
Coop maybe just gripped that ball a little too tightly, didn't come out of the hand cleanly, through the 60-footer instead of the 60-foot 6-inch, and the ball took the bounce off the turf. Aldridge did everything he could to try and square up to it, but it was already scooting by him. Because you don't get, obviously with the turf, you don't get the true bounce up like you would on dirt. You get more of a skipping motion, and that's what happened on that pitch.
Yes. It's an all-turf facility here at BA Memorial Stadium. Sturzma's now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Now it's important for Cooper to kind of wave off that wild pitch in his mind and just refocus. He really did that after Wanamuller's error. Came back with 2 solid strikes to Fling.
And there's a solid strike right there to run the count to 2-1 on Sturzma. Of course, Cooper really able to relax now that his offense has really gone out and taken care of their senior out there.
Well, that's the other important part, an experienced senior on the mound with a big lead.
2-1 to Sturzma. That's sliced down the right field line. Well, Giants giving chase, but that's going to get out of play into the bullpen area. Next pitch will be the 50th for Cooper.
The other thing Wabash has been able to do through this tournament, as you mentioned, 50 pitches for Cooper. If he does start to, particularly with this big lead, Little Giants have not had to use much of the bullpen. Coop came out of the bullpen yesterday, but really only threw 19 pitches. And it's been Zach Moffitt. The rest of the Wabash pitching staff is well rested.
2-2 to Sturzma. That's grounded foul. Eric Craddock's going to let that one go.
No chance for that one on Craddock.
Yes.
I hate to say it, Barry, but you've lost a step to your right.
Try it again at 2-2 as Cooper. A double check on the runner at second. That one's going to be low. Count now full on Sturzma with Lansky waiting on deck.
Good job by Aldridge as that pitch had a chance to maybe scoot through his legs. Just got the mitt down, closed up the 5-hole, kept the ball in front of him.
And that's going to miss downstairs, and a pair of base runners now for the Scots with one out in the top of the third. Wabash still in front, 7-0.
Yeah, dangerous hitter at the plate in Michael Wilansky. Kurt Ashcraft, who, by the way, we have to say happy birthday to. Today is Kurt's birthday, so hopefully he's listening. I know he's got a big lacrosse game at home that he and Craig Hicks, who served as our scorer the last couple of days, will be involved in, but happy birthday to Kurt. But he talked about Wilansky really being a 5-tool guy and certainly a good presence at the plate.
Yes, he definitely is. He played in the Valley Baseball League last summer, one of the top summer collegiate wood bat leagues. Went on to earn MVP honors of that league. Tops in the league in average .432, on-base percentage .489. Slugging at .677. Led the league in hits with 67, 38 runs, 18 doubles in that 42-game season. He has to duck out of the way of that one, and the count's now 1-1.
And we see Sean Smith already jogging down to the bullpen for the Little Giants. I wondered if Sean might get the start today, whether it would be Cooper or Sean, but Smitty's going to head down and start to loosen up.
That curveball just misses. Count now 2-1 on Wilansky. Now 5 for 11 here this week. 3 for 12 on the season against the Little Giants. Here's Cooper's pitch. That one misses downstairs as well. Count now 3-1 on Wilansky. Wilansky had 3 balls on him in the last at bat when he flied out to Jared Wolf, who was able to make a pretty good play out there in left field. He saw a lot of action in the first inning with back-to-back fly balls his way. It's going to be back-to-back walks for the Scots here to load the bases.
And as I expected, this will get a visit from Andy Weeks, the Wabash pitching coach. He'll go out and try and both settle Cooper down a little bit and give Sean Smith an opportunity to get loose down in the bullpen. So Smitty starting to throw. Weeks with the very slow walk out on the mound to give Sean extra opportunity to get loose.
Of course, formulate a plan here with the pair of dangerous hitters due up for the Scots in Harwood and Crum, who combined have 130 runs batted in on the year.
And this is exactly what we talked about. Wabash with the 7-0 lead, but the Scots certainly capable of putting runs up on the board in a hurry. They've loaded the bases here with just one out, trying to take advantage of the leadoff error on the ground ball to Wannemuller and work a couple of walks. And this is what got Wabash in trouble a little bit yesterday. They had a lead on the Scots, but 2 leadoff walks came around to score. And, the Scots doing exactly what you want to do. If you're going to give up free bases, and the Little Giants have given up 3 free bases in this inning, you have to make teams pay for it. And that's what Wooster will try and do here in the form of Dan Harwood at the plate.
Yes, Wooster always makes the opposition pay with those free passes. If you look at some of the scores, earlier in the season, they were a little bit out of control, and the big reason why was all those walks.
Well, and you have a left-handed batter, the wind blowing out to right field, and a short porch to right, so the score could change in a hurry if Harwood gets a hold of one.
He got a hold of one last night, and that gave the Scots the lead against Denison as he watches ball 1 from Cooper. Big spot in the game here. With Wooster trailing by 7, 1-0 from Cooper. That paints the outside corner at the home of the Paints. Count now 1-1.
Little Giants bring the corners, even with the bag. Blevins actually about a step in front of the bag at first base, so anything to first or third, they'll try and cut the run down at the plate. Double play depth up the middle to try and trade the ending double play on a ball hit to short or second.
That one misses outside. Count now 2-1 on Harwood. With Garrett Crum waiting on deck, but for now it's up to Harwood to try to get the Scots on the board for the first time today here in the top of the third, where Wabash leads Wooster 7-0 in the championship round of the North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. Turned on that one and ripped it foul. Count now 2-2 on Harwood.
Cooper got one inside, just forcing Harwood to foul it away. A little further out, and Harwood would have had a good pitch to try and turn on.
Harwood does have 13 homers on the year now. Entered the day 394. But he's going to swing through that Tyler Cooper pitch. And a big-time play by the Little Giants senior to get Harwood swinging there for the second out of the inning.
Well, and again, you talk about the setup. He jammed Harwood inside, fouled the fastball away, and then came right back with a fastball on the outer half of the plate, out and up, and Harwood unable to catch up to it as he swung through it.
That'll be up to Garrett Crum. Crum grounded out to short his first time up today. Here's Cooper's pitch. Check swing on it. Late appeal did not go. Crum 22 multi-hit games, 21 multi-RBI games entering play today. Chance to extend that RBI one in this at-bat with the bases chocked full of Scots, and he's ahead of the count here. 2 balls, no strikes against Cooper.
Sean Smith is ready down in the bullpen should the Little Giants choose to go to him, but after that strikeout, they'll look to Coop to try and end this inning for Wabash.
Cooper misses there, 3-0. So we'll see, should the inning continue after this at plate appearance, how big of a leash he'll have. We saw Tim Petterini was most of the way in and out of the dugout down the stretch last night, but Chandler Dittman kept himself in the game by throwing first pitch strikes. And here we're going to have a 4-pitch walk, and the Scots are on the board.
And that's going to do it for Tyler Cooper.
So there is no leash in this one. All runs scored this inning will be unearned due to the leadoff error. So Cooper exits after 2 2/3 innings. He's responsible for everybody on base, but his ERA is going to go lower, and it can't be damaged by anything that may come across later this inning.
Yeah, the only bad news for Coop really won't be eligible for the win, leaving with a 7-1 lead. But still a great effort, got a good start for Wabash, and now turns it over to Sean Smith. Actually, nope, we're going to go right to Moffitt. So Jake Martin says, I'm not going to fool around. Let's put Zach Moffitt in. Moffitt has just been tremendous through 2 games, normally the Wabash closer. But again, we talked about the Wabash bullpen is A, rested, and B, Moffitt has pitched really well. So go with the hot hand. You've got a 7-1 lead, but you've got the Scots with the bases loaded and a run already in the inning. So go to the guy that has shown a lot of confidence on the mound and really has been a shutdown artist for Wabash through this season, already owns the career saves record for the Little Giants. So Coach Jake Martin is not going to mess around in this Game 6 championship level game. Wants to try and close out the Scots here in this inning.
Yes, he became the program leader with 10 saves yesterday, pitched 3 innings against the Scots, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, made 42 pitches. He had 16 against Denison the night before, 1 inning pitch, 2 strikeouts as he picked up his 9th career save in that one. So while he's not going to be in line for a save in this one, this may be the currently the moment of the game where the save actually is, as he's trying to protect this 6-run lead against Drew Torno, who goes fishing on the first pitch from Moffitt.
Well, what we have seen from him as just a sophomore is a lot of confidence. He has come in and just challenged hitters. He's not afraid of the situation, and that's what we saw with that first pitch strike to Torno.
Here's the 0-1. Torno fouls that back. He's down the count 0-2.
Torno, of course, would like to make up for that little misplay out in the outfield. He came in on the line drive by Jumonville, and it got over his head for an RBI triple. Allowed Wabash to score 2 more runs. So he can try and get some of those back here with a base hit.
Yes, he's 3 for 9 at the NCAC tournament, and that one's on backwards. Now 3 for 10 with 5 strikeouts here in Chillicothe this week. Moffitt comes in and gets the job done by getting Torno to watch strike 3 go by and keep the 6-run lead intact. Scots get on the board, but they're still down 7-1 to the Little Giants as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here on Wabash Live.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division III. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
Bottom of the 3rd here at VA Memorial Stadium. Championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. Kevin Smith alongside Brent Harris. 7-1 Little Giants, who will start the inning with the bottom 3rd of the order just like they did last inning. It's going to be Chavez trying to get it started. He takes downstairs, ball 1.
And that's what he did last inning, Kevin. He drew the leadoff walk. Little Giants followed with 2 singles, and then a hit by pitch, and then Rojo with the double off the left center field wall to start the scoring for Wabash.
That one's going to be down in the turf as well from Wyatt Lind.
Now, it'll be interesting here if the Little Giants can get runners on again, if they can try and answer that Scott score, because now you play the momentum game. Scott's got on the board, got some runners on, but a good finish for the Little Giants with Zach Moffitt on the mound.
There's a strike from Wyatt Lind, count now 2-1. Lind going to have an important outing today. Is in order for the Scots to have a chance, they have to win 2. He's likely going to have to eat some innings, but he delivers another one down in the turf, and just like that, there's already activity again in the Wooster bullpen. Here's Lind's 3-1. That's fouled off third base line.
And you see difference between, Barry Craddock and Jake Martin.
Yes, Jake Martin just lets it go.
Again, I made the comment yesterday. Jake was an outfielder, but he was also a pitcher. I've got infielders behind me. It's their job to field that ball. Jake just nonchalantly looked at it as it sailed by.
That pitch upstairs for ball 4.
So Wabash in each of the 3 innings has put the leadoff man aboard. A single by Jared Wolf. Chavez with the walk in the 2nd inning. He draws a walk here in the 3rd.
Now it'll be Tyler Downing. He had a bunt single last time, he bunted it, and due to the playing surface, kind of had that awkward-looking spin on it, and Alec Hammond wasn't able to pick it up. He might have beat it out had Hammond picked it up cleanly anyways, as Downing's able to get down that line in a hurry, given that football speed.
Yeah, we mentioned running back. He is short and stocky, but has amazing speed. That's why Wabash liked to use him around the goal line. He had an outstanding run in a start at Albion in the Little Giants' victory there 2 years ago.
Likely won't be bunting here as he's down in the count 0-2.
We saw him yesterday get a really nice, squared around to bunt and then made a slap single through the right side. So good presence at the plate, and of course, Little Giants leader in hit batsmen this year.
That pitch was delivered before time was called, and it's hammered foul, but no pitch on the play. Of course, Downing probably just takes him like he's bouncing off of defenders across the North Coast Athletic Conference.
Earlier this season, he and Jumonville were tracking a fly ball in the outfield, and Jimmy was coming full speed, so was Tyler, and he was calling for it. Jumonville collided with Downing. Jumonville went to the ground, and Downing just looked at him like, I've been hit by some pretty good linebackers in this league.
And he checked his swing, but unable to hold up on that one. And Lind with his second strikeout.
Yeah, Lind with a good pitch, jammed him high and inside, and Tyler had already committed, just couldn't hold up. A good pitch by Lind coming from that left side, brought it all the way into the right-handed batter's box area, and Downing committed, couldn't hold up, strikeout for Lind, good pitch.
Henry Wademuller now, he had an RBI single back in the second inning that made it a 3-0 game. Takes downstairs there, ball one. See if Watemuller's trying to bunt potentially here. Of course, I said that last time, and then he stroked a single out to left field.
Now, I would expect him to be hitting away here, if I had to bet on my Jake Martin guesses.
But of course, we don't bet on it as the runner goes, and that throw's going to be high. A little delayed steal. Batter swung.
And they're going to say interference, I believe, on Wademuller, and so they're going to send the runner back to first, and Watemuller's going to be out. So batter interference.
We have two UINT and lovely stat crew.
And that is, I believe, the correct call, because it was a strange looking play. You were watching at home. There was no throw initially by the catcher, because I think it was a late break by Chavez from first base. And so Wademuller was kind of striding out after the swing. And then that's when the throw came, and it was a high throw from Wall, and that was because Wademuller was obstructing him.
So there's now 2 outs in the inning after the batter interference, and it's going to be top of the order for the third time today in the third inning in Jared Wolf.
So Wademuller has the unusual trifecta, the error, the obstruction, and the batter interference.
All that's missing from that's being hit by a batted ball.
But Henry has been a steady force down at third. Outstanding player for Wabash.
Yes, he has been, as Wolf's still ahead in the count after that called strike 2 and 1. He's 1 for 1, scored twice, hit by a pitch his last time up.
You mentioned Henry, an RBI single in his last at-bat.
That one just catches the corner on the outer half of the plate.
Again, a nice pitch by Lind. So the left-hander facing the left-handed batter, that gives him room to try and sweep that ball across that front left corner of the plate, and that's exactly what Lind did there.
It's 2-2 with the runner on first. As we're in the bottom of the third, it's still 7-1 Wabash. Wolf out in front of that one, tapped foul down the first base line. We're going to have a fielding error on the Little Giants first base coach now.
And that's unusual, because that's Reed Pittard. Steady shortstop in his playing days at DePaul. But
well, that was an easy one for Pittard being a shortstop. Surprised he bobbled that one.
Got to be nice. I'm guessing his mom may
come up and question the...
Maybe back from Memphis. His mother, Professor Pittard at Wabash College, Professor Michelle Pittard, had a group down in Memphis, Tennessee at the end of classes. So I believe they're back from that trip, getting ready for commencement tomorrow.
Check on the runner. Here's Lynn's 2-2. Strike three batter. Harrison Walls dropped it, but Wolf was still standing, so Walls able to pick it up and just apply the tag. Third strikeout for Lind, and through 3 on Wabash Live. It's Wabash 7, Wooster 1.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
We're back for the 4th inning. VA Memorial Stadium Championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. Kevin Smith alongside Brent Harris. And it's going to be Moffitt. Zach Moffitt still out there. Going to get the lion's share of the work in this one. He struck out the first batter he faced with the bases loaded in the top of the 3rd inning. Here's Moffitt's pitch to Dan Gale. First pitch swinging, skies that out to center field, where the ball goes to die into the glove of Tyler Downing.
Yeah, our longtime comment on Tyler Downing in the outfield, where fly balls go to die. And Downing is a great story because we mentioned him running back on the Wabash football team. Well, he broke an ankle, a severe break, ended his season his junior year. And they weren't sure he was going to be ready for baseball, and if so, how he was going to play. Well, he ended up being a starter in the outfield, had an outstanding season his junior year, another good season his senior year, both in football and now here in baseball. So great to see him out there. Had a great chat with his dad on Thursday as they're getting ready for commencement.
Harrison Walls now. Grounded out to Cooper, his first time up. That pitch misses downstairs. Count 1-1 now on Walls with Harry Wetwer-Dukes on deck.
Sean Smith continuing to just lightly toss down in the bullpen, but I imagine Moffitt will try and pitch a few innings here.
Here's his 1-1 pitch. Walls skies that one on the infield. Blevins calling for it. Blevins gives way to the second baseman, Rajinski. Kind of a tricky one there that kept carrying.
Well, good communication between the two Wabash infielders. Blevins had a bead on it, but it was going to be a tough angle for him. Again, we mentioned we're starting to see some clouds roll in, but it's still a little bit of a high sky. And Rajinski coming over from second has a much better angle. He got there, called Blevins off. Jackson just gave ground, let Rojo make the catch, and there's 2 away here in the inning.
Harry Wetwer-Dukes, he reached on an error his first time up. Later came around and scored the Scots' lone run of this one. Takes inside ball 1.
Now, Wooster did an excellent job, again, of taking advantage of Wabash mistakes, an error, 2 walks, and then they converted with the bases-loaded walk to Garrett Crum.
Then Moffitt came in and struck out Drew Torno to get out of that jam. He set down the first 2 batters he's faced so far in this inning as Wetwer-Dukes puts a charge into that one. Downing going back, leaps at the wall, and Harry Wetwer-Dukes has a home run out to dead center field. That one really carried out of here pretty nicely with how strong the wind is.
Yeah, it did. Downing had a good beat on it, but Whitmer Dukes got all of that one. Looks like Moffitt maybe just got a fastball out over the plate, and Whitmer Dukes made him pay for it. A good swing by the Scots third baseman, and he hits the solo shot. That's the good news for Wabash. It comes with 2 outs and the base is empty, so it ends up just being 1 run on the scoreboard.
Yes, and now it's a 5-run game. Wabash 7, Wooster 2. That hit was the Scots' 3rd of the game. Man who has one of those now climbing in, Jake Flane. He singled to lead off this game, but was stranded at first base and takes a first pitch strike from Moffitt.
Well, and that's important for Zach Moffitt. After you give up a long home run like that to center field, come back, get a strike on the pitch you want to throw.
And Flane swings through that one. Now behind in the count, 0-2. Flane flied out to Blevins there at first base on another tricky ball that was a little easier than the one that Roginski went over and got. Well, it's still a tricky play, as if it would have landed, it probably would have curved in fair, as Flane puts a charge into that one out to right field. Right on the track in front of the wall is Jumonville for the 3rd out of the inning. The Scots inch closer. It's now 7-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Bottom of the 4th inning here at BA Memorial Stadium, championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. It's Wabash 7, Wooster 2. Little Giants with 2 chances to win 1 today. Should Wabash win one of the 2 games today, obviously they won't need the second one. If they win this one right here, it'll be the Little Giants' 2nd NCAC tournament title. It would make head coach Jake Martin the first coach in North Coast Athletic Conference history to win a conference tournament title with 2 different teams, as he won one a few years back with the other Indiana school in the NCAC.
The school to the south.
Yes, the school to the south. Of course, he's in greater pastures now in the north as the first pitch from Lynn. Downstairs, ball 1.
Everyone wanders in the wilderness for a few years. Actually, Jake did a phenomenal job down at DePaul. Much to our chagrin, Wabash alum down at DePaul really did a great job with that program, but we are thrilled to have him back in the Wabash family.
Lynn misses again, count now 2 balls and no strikes. To Sean Roginski, who's 2 for 2 last at bat, a 2-run double out there to left center field. He definitely made a plan on that one, as the sign says, right to
yes, indeed.
Where he
and he made it home.
Yes, he did make it home on the triple by Andrew Jumonville. And we're going to have a pitching change.
Yeah, it looks like Lind and Walls are just crossing each other up, as Lind has had a problem, kind of gathering in, so you don't know if Lind is really missing the spots or he's missing the call and the where they want to throw. But Tim Petterini very quickly decided, this is not what I want to see.
Yes.
Particularly getting 2 runs on the board now, so you're starting to cut into the Wabash lead. You don't want to put the leadoff man aboard.
So go to James Usher now, trotting in. Usher faced 1 batter yesterday. Got the job done with the out. This is going to be Usher's 25th appearance, 3-1, 4 saves, 4.55 is Usher's ERA. 27 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 34 hits, 17 runs, 14 of those earned, 7 walks, 17 strikeouts, and in the last 2 years here in Chillicothe in the tournament, this is going to be his 4th appearance overall. He's pitched 3 1/3 innings thus far, allowed 1 hit and no runs. Last 6 outings, Usher's 1-0, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, neither of those earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. This will be his 3rd appearance of the year against Wabash. With the 3-0 count, we're going to go ahead and leave Wyatt Lind in stat crew for the time being, as if Roginski draws the walk here, it'll go on Lind's line.
4th pitcher of the game now for the Scots. Hammond starting with that 1 inning of work, gave up 6 earned runs. Lackner with a 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 run, and Lind responsible for Roginski at the plate should he walk. But Usher will be responsible for anything else that Roginski might do.
Of course, we've seen all three of the 4 games now for Wooster here in the NCAC tournament. Tim Petterini go to that bullpen in the middle of an at-bat, and Scots are 2 for 2 in climbing back and getting the strikeout when that happens. We'll see if Usher can keep that up.
And it's been something that Petterini has done throughout his career. You know, if there's no sense staying with the man on the mound if it's clear he's not able to get the job done.
That one's a strike. Count now 3-1. Of course, we've seen some former players of Tim Petterini do that as well. Of course, Kenyon's Matt Burdett did that here this week. He was a 1992 graduate of the College of Wooster. Played in the first NCAC tournament back in 1991, did Burdett. And just like that, 2 quick strikes from Usher has the count full on Roginski. That's going to be a liner just all out of the reach of Wilansky, and it's going to go into center field for a hit. So leadoff man on board again for Wabash.
Mentioned Professor Michelle Pittard, and as if on cue, get a notification that she is indeed watching the broadcast. Mentioned her son, Reed, a great playing career at Wabash. He was a Wabash killer, hit over 600 for his career against the Little Giants. I joked with Reed when he took over the coaching job at Wabash. I said, are you allowed to hit infield? Because I don't think you can hit 2 Wabash players. You hit past them for doubles. Just a tremendous playing career, and now we're happy to have him on the north side of the rivalry wearing a Wabash uniform.
Took a little bit of adjustment, but I'm sure he gets the job done in getting the current crew of the Little Giants infield ready to go for each game. Aldridge now, he strokes a shot down into left field. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Harwood up with it cleanly, so that'll hold the runner, Wojcinski, at third, and it's a double for Aldridge, and the Little Giants are back in business after seeing the Scots cut into that lead, as there's now 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Aldridge has proven to be a tough out all tournament long there. Another good extra base hit. Keeps the inning alive, as you mentioned, puts 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out for the cleanup hitter, Andrew Jumonville, who we've mentioned in the earlier game, so we'll bring it up here, moved into that cleanup spot, moving Jackson Blevins down 1 spot. Coach Martin feeling that it allows Blevins to relax a little more, and that's worked out well because Blevins has been a force in that 5-hole.
It's worked out well as well for Jumonville, who did the little things yesterday with the pair of sacrifice bunts, but really letting his back speak loudly today with 3 runs batted in, including a 2-run triple his last time up. Kind of a mental error out there by Drew Torno. Tried to make the throw home before having the ball on that play. The count's now 2-0 on Jumonville as Usher's pitch sails upstairs.
And this is important for Wabash. We mentioned the Scots got back with a couple of runs, a bases-loaded walk, and then the impressive home run by Whitmer Dukes in the last inning. If Little Giants can scrape back, get a couple of runs, they show that they can respond to Wooster's potent offense and can try and regain that 7-run lead.
2-0 pitch spoiled back out of play. Count now 2-1 on the Little Giants rookie right fielder. Activity down in Wooster's bullpen again. But for now, it's Usher out there trying to walk the tightrope here in the 4th inning. Here's his 2-1 pitch with the high leg kick. Paints the corner at the home of the paints. Count now 2-2 on Jumonville. With Rodzinski at third, he singled to lead off the inning. Aldridge followed with a double. He's out at second. And it's Blevins on deck, but for now, Jumonville with the 2-2 count against Usher, who deals. Popped up on the infield. Sturzma cruising over. Backpedals a few steps into the outfield for the catch for the first out of the inning. Runners will hold. And now it's Blevins. Blevins sack fly his first time up. Strikeout his last plate appearance. But he's got 2 in scoring position right now. Blevins made some noise yesterday with a pair of runs batted in the winner's bracket game. He had 2 hits in that one. Calls time and steps out here against Usher.
He's been another guy for a new addition to the team, has really taken over as a leader, has brought some good experience from his St. Joseph's playing days. And that's going to be a balk on Usher.
We've seen 3 balks now called at the tournament. We didn't really see a whole lot in the regular season. They always seem to pick up pace here in the championship portion.
And what
of the
happened
season.
there, Usher went to that high leg kick and never got set. He tried to rush the pitch to the plate, and so the balk was called immediately.
He's going to have no pitch on that. It's now 8-2 Wabash. Blevins fouls that one off.
And Blevins, again, is a total team guy, so he would be perfectly satisfied here to be able to just lift a fly ball to the outfield. Aldridge, again, is not a sprinter by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a good base runner. He knows how to run, uses the speed that he does have, so he could try and score on a sacrifice fly.
Once that's going to be grounded to short at the infield in, he's going to have to hold at third, and Blevins is retired 6-3 for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, Scott's obviously having to play in, trying to keep this Wabash team as close as possible. Little Giants answering with a run on the balk by Usher. And with Wilansky playing in, the sure-handed shortstop handled that one without any trouble, holding Aldridge at third.
Yeah, Wilansky last night became Worcester's all-time leader in fielding assists. And now stepping into bat is designated hitter Matthew Ane. 0 for 2 today, fly out and a ground out. Looking for his second hit against the Scots this year, and this is the 4th time these 2 teams have met. So we had a round-robin format this year for the regular season after the teams playing in 2 divisions and playing 4-game series against each other within the division, and then the crossover weekend for some time. Here's Usher's 1-0 pitch. Waved through it, did Ane, count 1-1.
A good pitch down in the zone and away, went off speed after that high leg kick. Good offering from Usher.
Another high leg kick. That one's going to get away from Walls. And Aldridge wasn't able to get a good read on that, as that one looked like it squirted well enough away.
So you had a left-handed batter in the batter's box, and I think that obstructed Aldridge's view of the baseball. He couldn't see how far away it got, and he didn't realize that Walls hadn't found the baseball yet. He took about 4 steps down the line, but he wasn't fully committed to go, and if you're not fully committed, you don't try and make the play.
Especially with a 6-run lead, you don't want, the way Wabash has been hitting in this game, you don't want to run yourself into an out when we're here still in the 4th inning. And 5 more chances for the Scots to cut into this lead. Counts now 3-1 as that pitch from Usher misses inside. He comes set now with a 3-1 offering. That's going to be ball 4, and runners on the corners now for Chavez.
Chavez with a good afternoon has drawn 2 leadoff walks, came around to score back in the 2nd inning. and was stranded at first after the Scots came back and retired 3 consecutive Little Giants after Chavez got the leadoff walk in the 3rd.
He tried to steal second when Henry Wannemuller was at the plate, but Wannemuller was called out for interference.
It's kind of a delayed steal by Chavez, and Henry had kind of wandered in the path of Wall, so it was a good call by the umpiring crew.
First pitch is fouled off. Usher now at 21 pitches since entering this inning. Here's his 0-1 pitch. Chavez puts a good swing on that one. That's into center field. That's going to get down for a hit. We're still going to have runners on the corners as Ane got a good jump. He's over to third base. It's now 9-2. So we saw the Scots get 2 runs the last couple of innings, and Wabash answers right back with 2 here in the 4th.
We mentioned how important that is for the Little Giants to maintain their confidence, and that's 2 things. Good start by Tyler Cooper to maintain that early lead when it looked like he was starting to run out of a little gas. Coach Jake Martin went right to his big stopper, big confidence man on the mound in sophomore Zach Moffitt. He's been able to keep the game close with this 7-2 score, and then Wabash came back with 2 runs here for a 9-2 lead.
Tyler Downing now pitch upstairs, ball 1. Downing 1 for 2, bunt single and a strikeout. Two outs with his speed. Brent, do you think you maybe try to drop one down the third base line with how far back where Dukes is playing as the runner takes off? And the pitch is going to be fouled off and get out of play.
Well, one of the things, Tyler Downing has complete permission from Jake Martin to take a look, and if he wants to decide, Martin may not put the play on, but if Downing thinks he could try and bump for a base hit, Jake Martin has total confidence in his bunting ability, and you'll just see Tyler put the bat in the bump position and try and bump for a single. He might do it here, so it would be almost a form of a safety squeeze with 2 down.
Usher comes set. The 1-1. Upstairs count now 2-1. And see how long the leash is on Usher here today.
Again, the Scots are kind of getting to the position you've got to balance we've got to get back in this game and keep Wabash from putting runs on the board with. You also have to try and save some arms, and somebody's going to have to chew up some innings.
Check swing foul. Count now 2-2. Downing didn't want to swing, but that one got off the end of the bat.
Yeah, he wanted to hold up. And when Tyler Downing swings, he has that tendency to dip inside. Part of the reason he gets hit by so many pitches. That time when he dipped inside, the inside pitch came off the end of the bat for a strike.
Usher comes set. Another high leg kick 2-2. Grounded to third. That's going to get by a diving Wetward Dukes down the line. It's going to get all the way to the wall. We're going to have 2 runs come in potentially here. Here's Harwood's throw to Wolanski. Wolanski with the cannon to the plate. It's offline. And Downing's going to get to third on the throw. So it's going to go as a 2-run double with Downing advancing to third on the relay throw from Wolanski. And it's now 11-2 here in the bottom of the 4th.
I'll tell you what, again, I am so happy for that young man down at third base. Came back from the injury happened. I was calling the game on at Hiram, and you could just see it, and it was a horrible injury. We actually drove to the hospital to bring him back from Hiram because his parents weren't able to be at the game. And so I had a long conversation with Tyler. I'm so proud of what he has done coming back from that injury with a 2 RBI double here. Just one example of how hard he's worked to get back on the field.
Now it's Henry Wannemuller. Pitch misses outside, ball 1. Wannemuller called out for interference his last time up, but he had an RBI single in the 2nd inning that at the time made it 3-0. And since then, the Little Giants have gone on to make it a 9-run ball game here in the 4th inning.
Well, and confidence breeds confidence, Kevin. Wabash right now seemingly can do no wrong, and everybody just coming up with big hits, downing there with that shot right down the left field line.
Mentioned everybody coming up with hits. 7 of the 9 Little Giants have a hit in this one so far, and 8 of the 9 have reached safely as Mueller grounds out to second for the final out of the inning. But the damage is done again as it's a 4 spot for the Little Giants, who now lead 11-2 through 4 innings here on Wabash Live.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, and I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Back here for the 5th inning, Kevin Smith alongside Brent Harris. Little Giants out to an 11-2 lead in the championship round of the North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. Brent, we mentioned that there's only been one champion win 3 years in a row. One team won 3 years in a row here at the NCAC tournament that started back in 1991. That was Wooster 2004, 2005, and 2006. And Jake Martin actually, as of right now, in position to play the spoiler again, as it was his then DePaul Tigers that beat Wooster in 2014 after the Scots won 2012, 2013. Of course, Wooster won the last 2 years, and the Battling Bishops had 2 chances in the early 2000s to win a 3rd straight NCAC tournament title, but they did not in either try.
We mentioned Jake Martin just has done a tremendous job throughout his coaching career. A player at Wabash, and I still remember the conversation in the dugout as we've got, I believe, an 0-2 count.
We do.
Here to the batter, Sturzma.
Grounded out to short. Chavez has that one cleanly. Good throw over to first, and the first out of the inning.
But to finish that story, I still remember sitting in the dugout. We were getting ready to play DePaul, and Tom Flynn was the head coach at the time. And Matt Walker, who's a Crawfordsville native, I've known Matt for many years, he walked over during batting practice and just asked Jake, when you graduate, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'd like to maybe look at grad school and coach somewhere. Well, you can come to grad school at ISU, but you can do a coaching program here at DePaul. He joined Matt Walker's staff when Matt departed. Jake took over the baseball program and just really did great things down at DePaul, and now we are so thrilled to have him at Wabash. His 2nd season already helped the Little Giants set the record for wins in a season with 27 right now, trying to pick up the 28th today. Just the future is bright for Wabash baseball under Jake Martin.
The last 3 would be super impressive. Should the Little Giants hold on in this one, it'll be the 3rd straight win for Wabash against a top 25 team.
And Wabash, if they get the win here in this game or in the 2nd game, should there be one, would appear in the NCAA tournament for just the 2nd time in school history.
Zelansky way out in front of that off-speed pitch from Moffitt. He's now behind in the count 1-2. Wolansky walked his last time up 0 for 1 with a flyout in this one. Looking to climb out of a 1-2 hole with his Scots down 11-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Here's Moffitt's pitch. Way upstairs, 2-2.
Yeah, fastball that got away from him. Looked like he maybe tried to put a little extra on it, and as he did, just let it go too soon. Threw it inside and high, and Wolansky ducking out of the way of that offering.
That one's down in the turf to run the count full. As Cooper and Moffitt have held the Scots to 2 runs on 3 hits so far through 4 1/3 innings of work. It was Moffitt who came on with the bases loaded in the top of the 3rd. struck out Drew Torno. And Wolanski skies that one out of play. Left side, that's going to get well out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2.
That one sailed out to the corner of the two streets leading into the ballpark here, out by the green street sign. And that'll send Eric Murphy on a long trot to go find that one.
And Wolanski has his second walk of the game. The Scots have a one-out base runner for Dan Harwood.
And Wolanski did a good job of just working the count, fouled off a couple of pitches that Moffitt wanted to try and win on, and that's what good hitters do. If it's not a pitch that you can try and put into play, just make sure you spoil it so you do get the pitch you want, or you make the pitcher miss, easy for me to say, and draw the walk, and that's exactly what Wolanski did.
That was his 38th walk of the year, and Dan Harwood got all crossed up on that pitch.
Yeah, I think he was looking fastball. Moffitt came with the changeup and just had him totally out of sync.
He's looking fastball to try to make it 11-4, probably to be more precise on that one with that swing, and fooled by that changeup. Here's Moffitt's 0-1 pitch. Harwood with a good swing on that one, lifts that one out to right field. It could go, and it does. Dan Harwood giving Wooster a spark with his second homer of the tournament here. That one's out to right field, and it's now 11-4.
It was a pitch down and away. That let Harwood have a chance to extend his arms, and just a nice, easy swing. You know, the first swing he got fooled on the changeup and looked bad. That time he got a pitch that he was expecting and that he could handle, and he did what good hitters do. Just to get the arms extended, smooth swing through, and punched it out to right field, and really a no-doubter on that one.
Yes, there's no confusion on that swing from Harwood, who now has 14 homers on the year. 68 runs batted in. That is 7th all-time in single season in program history. Crum with a slow grounder to second base, where it's going to be gobbled up by a charging Rodzinski. Flips over to first base for the second out of the inning. So good job by Moffitt, who's given up a pair of home runs here, to come right back and settle right back into the thick of things.
Well, and that's why he's a really mature sophomore. You think a player only in his second year of college baseball could get rattled by a couple of long balls, because the Scots really pounded both those home runs. They were not, just crawled over the fence hits. They were, Moffitt threw good pitches, and the Scots did what good hitters do, put them in play and put them out of the ballpark. But Moffitt's come right back both times to get outs.
He's ahead of Torno here, 1-0-1, and Torno swings through that one. Torno was the first batter Moffitt faced, and that came with the bases loaded in the third inning, and Torno struck out. He's 0 for 2 so far today. So here's Moffitt's 0-2 pitch. One outside, count now 1-2 on the Scots right fielder, who bats with the bases empty here in the top of the 5th championship round. 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament, where it's Wabash 11, Wooster 4. Here's Moffitt's 1-2. Tornell skies that one into the outfield. Or Downing cruising over, now backpedaling, reaches up and puts it away for the third out of the inning. So we're trading runs in pairs here for the last few innings. And it's now 11-4, heading to the bottom of the 5th on Wabash Live.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
It's going to be Jack Jones for the bottom of the 5th inning with Wabash leading 11-4. 5th pitcher of the game for the Scots. So now be up to Jones to try to quiet the Little Giants bats that have erupted for 11 hits here through 4 trips to the plate so far. Jones yesterday worked an inning, gave up a earned run, a walk, a strikeout against Little Giants. His last 6 outings, he's 1-0 with a save, 1.35 ERA, and 7 2/3 innings pitched. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts on the year. This will be appearance 14 for Jones, all of which have come since April 5th when he made his collegiate debut against the Hiram Terriers.
Now, Usher leaves the game working an inning, allowed 4 hits, 4 earned runs with 1 walk, throwing 29 pitches.
And Jones will have the top of the order. Jared Wolf climbing in for the 4th time today. He's 1 for 2, a pair of runs, single hit by pitch, struck out his last time up. Against Wyatt Lynn, the lefty was able to sweep a couple pitches over the corners of the plate against the left-handed hitting Wolf. And Jones misses outside, ball 1.
Well, Wall, who has been really steady behind the plate, looks like he's being crossed up a little bit by the pitching staff today. He's had some trouble maintaining some pitches, and some pitches that are close he's not getting for his staff.
He gets that one for a called strike right at the bottom of the zone against Wolf to even the count at 1-1. Wolf 308 entering today. He's now 3 for 11 here at the tournament this year. 5 runs scored. The 1-1 from Jones misses up and out. Count now 2-1. Wolf had an 11-game hitting streak late in the regular season, going 16 for 41 with 17 runs scored. He bunts at it, and that one's going to be foul. Count now 2-2 on Wolf.
Obviously, Wolf with good speed and coming out of that left-handed batter's box with the third baseman back. I don't know if Coach Martin called that or if he had the go-ahead to try and bunt for the base hit, but gave that an opportunity with only 1 strike.
Might be hard for Coach Martin to call that one as he was over talking to either his staff or some of the other Little Giants in the dugout, and he'll finally make the stroll out to the third base coaching box. Here's Jones's 2-2, pitch down in the zone. Wolf gets underneath that one, out to Harwood, drifting over, makes the catch. That'll bring up Sean Rodzinski. Rodzinski 3 for 3 in the game. He scored all 3 times up. Last inning he scored on a balk by James Usher. He has 2 RBIs in this one. That came on a double to the make a plan to make it home sign on the wall out in left center. See what his plan is this time at the plate, and his plan is to swing at the first pitch and foul it off of catcher Harrison Walls.
And appropriately, there are only about 4 signs that are red in the outfield. That's one of them, and so he took it off the red sign in left center field.
Yes. So see if maybe he can feel insured in this at-bat and hit it off the State Farm sign out in right field that right fielder Drew Torno is standing right in front of.
Or maybe he feels like it's 94 country.
Instead, he's going to wear the 0-1 pitch and trot down to first base. 4th time today Rodzinski's reached. Now it's going to be Bryce Aldridge. He had to double his last time up. He's 2 for 3 in the game. Run scored back in the 4-run 4th inning for the Little Giants. And Rodzinski's going to take a little bit of time to collect himself after that hit by pitch.
Yeah, it takes a little jog down the right field line. Try and stretch the legs out a little bit.
Bears good to go now. Rodzinski 9 for 11 on the year on stolen base attempts.
We mentioned Scott Olmstead here taking photos. His son, offensive line coach for the Little Giants, Omi Olmstead, watching and listening today.
Here's the pitch from Jones. He's going to stay back on that one and lift it into right field for a single. Good piece of hitting there by the Little Giants catcher for his third hit of the game.
Again, Bryce Aldridge just, the pitch was inside, nothing he could do to try and drive it, so you just go with the pitch, get the bat out through the zone, and fist it over the second baseman out into right field for the base hit.
Now it's going to be Andrew Jumonville. 1 for 3, 3 runs batted in this one. 2 of those came in on a triple out to right field in the second inning. For Jumonville, that marked his third triple of the year. And he's now up to 22 runs batted in for the Little Giants.
Mentioned Omi Olmsted watching. I have a funny feeling his wife, chemistry professor Dr. Laurel Wysocki, is also watching, and probably Abigail Wysocki Olmsted is watching as well. So I know she's a big sports fan. She was sitting next to me watching the Super Bowl earlier this year.
All right, first pitch to Jumonville in there for a called strike from Jones. Here's his 0-1 offering. Dips downstairs. Count now 1-1 on Jumonville, who bats with runners on first and second and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, with his Little Giants leading the second-ranked Fighting Scots 11-4.
Kevin, this is a tradition at Wabash. We get a lot of people emailing and texting me. Say hi to Matt Dodaro and his wife, the Dodo, one of the all-time great shortstops in Wabash College baseball history. He's watching up in Chicago with his wife, rooting hard this afternoon for the Little Giants. Matt Dodaro, Jake Thomas, part of that Wabash team that really kind of turned the corner for the Little Giants, set up that 2011 team with John Holm.
Runners are going in that one. That's a double steal for the Little Giants as the pitch missed downstairs. Wall had a good throw. Where Dukes thought he slapped the tag on Rodzinski in time, but he did not, and there's now 2 runners in scoring position for the Little Giants, and another big chance for the rookie Jumonville to come through with a big base knock here.
See if Jumonville can, Wabash has done a great job all day today of getting runners in scoring position and then finding a way to bring them home. Wabash in that situation again here with runners at second and third.
That one catches the outside corner. Jumonville thought it was either low or out, dropped the bat, but he'll pick it back up and climb back into the batter's box now with a full count. Jones, the latest Scott, trying to work out of a jam here. They've been in jams all day. He's the 5th pitcher to work. Here's his pitch, hanging that one backwards as Jones painted one right over the outside corner at the home of the Paints. Gets the call for the second out of the inning, and that was a big one for the Scots.
Well, and a good pitch from Jones. So he comes with that sidearm submarine delivery, and oftentimes the hitter has a tough time adjusting to that angle. So Jones working the outside of the plate there to Jumonville and got him with the 3rd strike.
That pitch downstairs to Blevins. Mentioned Blevins was a big-time addition for the Little Giants, made his presence felt early in the season. NCAC Player of the Week back on March 12th, week leading up to that Monday. Blevins 455, 4 doubles, 4 triples, 9 runs batted in, 5 runs scored on that week. And he's going to add to the Little Giants lead here with a base hit out to right field. Tornow, it's going to get all the way to the wall, and that's going to be a 2-run double for Blevins, who now has 3 RBIs in the game as well. Matthew Ane, the designated hitter now, with Wabash back up by 9, 13-4.
Boy, Little Giants have just executed perfectly with runners on base today. Have found ways to score balks. They have hit the ball, whatever they've had to do to get runs home, a fielder's choice for an RBI. They have just continued to find ways to bring home runs today in this 13-4 lead.
Jones's 0-1 pitch downstairs to count 1-1. Wabash 13 hits to go with those 13 runs. It's 4-4 for the Fighting Scots. Jones comes set. Here's his 1-1 pitch. Down and out, count now 2-1 on the Little Giants' designated hitter, who's over 2, walked his last time up, came around and scored during that 4-run 4th inning.
Give a quick shout out to Mike Morgan, who does such a good job keeping Goodrich Ballpark ready for play. He's listening today because he's helping get ready for commencement. I'll spend time with Mike tomorrow, baccalaureate and during the commencement ceremony. So Mike's always been a big supporter of Wabash baseball, and thanks for listening today, Mike.
Yes, big day for all the seniors playing in today's game. Little Giants, of course, will walk across the stage tomorrow. Then the Fighting Scots will follow the day after on Monday. Pickoff attempt on Blevins. Almost sailed up, but Wilansky able to get there. Blevins a little shooken up on the slide. He might have got some of those black the rubber pellets.
Rubber pellet bath.
I was amazed at how many rubber pellets there actually are in the turf when I've seen the turf plowed for the snow. The snow melts, and then there's this big pile of those rubber pellets just laying around afterwards.
We finish as a walk to Matthew and Nay. We'll put runners at first and second. Yeah, I'm always amazed, during football practice when I'm out just watching the guys, or soccer practice, lacrosse practice down on our turf field. When I come home, I'll take my shoes off, and then I'll spend 3 minutes shaking the pellets out. And we saw a situation in the Denison-Kenyon game where at one point the umpire had to call time and sweep the pellets off of home plate. So you think, well, there's no dirt. Why do you need to sweep the plate? But those pellets can build up and work their way across the plate and obscure the vision.
Yes, so now there's 2 on for Chavez, who takes a first pitch strike from Jones. For the second straight inning, the Scots relief corps is having to log over 20 pitches in the frame.
On Chavez with a big RBI single in his last at bat. He's walked twice, scored 2 runs for the Little Giants.
He's got 2 on here. Walls with a nice lunge at that one to keep it from going to the backstop and keep both those runners from going into scoring position.
Yeah, and that's one that he has to make the stop on, because if he doesn't, it's going to be tough for him to recover. No chance to try and keep the runners from moving up 90 feet. So good stop there by Walls behind the plate.
As even with the bounce back that you'll get off the wall here, still no chance for Walls to be able to get his footing in time to scamper after that one. Another pickoff attempt. But Blevins back in there with a dive.
He got a couple of extra seconds because the throw back sailed a little bit. Wilansky had to go get it and then look to maybe try and apply the tag, and no tag as it was back safely.
As Chavez fouls that one off, count now 1-2. Jones has to be careful with those, because that's 2 that have been a little on the high side that could potentially squeak into center field and move the runners up.
Well, he has the advantage that he has a sure-handed player in Wilansky, also a good wingspan, good height for Wilansky, and very athletic, so he can save some of those miscues. But you're right, if he sails one that even Wilansky can't get to, that's got a chance for maybe Blevins to score.
That's going to be chopped foul. First baseline will do it again at a ball and 2 strikes on Chavez.
And this has been another long inning for the Wabash bats, as now Jones has his pitch count continuing to elevate. You mentioned, so we've got Usher, who came in relief but threw 29 pitches. Lind threw 21 pitches in relief. Jones already prior to this at-bat was at 21 pitches. So the number of pitches thrown tallying up, and that really comes into play again. If the Scots were able to come back in this game, you've got a lot of tired arms that'll be left for game 2 should that happen.
Yes, and Zach Moffitt sat through 8 batters coming to the plate in the 4th inning, and Chavez is already the 7th here, although he bats with 2 outs and 2 on. But still, though, 15 so far for Wabash to the plate over the last 2 innings. Here's Jones's 2-2, and Chavez is going to swing through that one for the 3rd out of the inning.
Oh, make your point. That was after the Little Giants sent 9 to the plate in the 2nd inning.
Yes, and 6 in the 1st inning. There's been a lot of traffic on the base pass and for the Little Giants, and it shows on the scoreboard as Wabash leads Wooster 8-4 here in the championship round through 5 innings on Wabash Live.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division III. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
Zach Moffitt starts his third full inning of work. He entered with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the third. He'll have the bottom third of the Scots lineup due up. Delivers the first pitch ball upstairs to Dan Gale. So Moffitt's going to have to try to recover from that another extended stay in that Wabash dugout.
I'm trying to see. We've got somebody loosening up in the bullpen, and I have a feeling I know who that might be. But I haven't been able to verify it yet.
That one just catches the bottom of the strike zone, 1-1 on Gale. Moffitt at 31 pitches. Made 42 yesterday against the Scots, 16 against Denison on Thursday in the first game of the NCAC tournament. Picked up the save in both of those, as that one's fouled off by Gale.
Yeah, Moffitt ran a fastball inside that actually hit Gale as he missed on the swing. So crossed up Gale in that effort.
Moffitt, who has the saves in the first 2 games, in line presently for the win in this one, as it's 13-4 Wabash over Wooster at the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament Championship round. That one's fouled straight back. Aldridge giving chase, can't quite get there as he was a step in front of the wall and had to slam on the brakes as the ball and the wall were becoming one.
That's a tough one because you know, is it going to stay off the screen? Is it going to hit the facade? Are you going to be able to get your glove out? Just a tough play. Good effort by Bryce, but one he's just going to struggle to be able to pick up. Too many things in the way. Craig Hicks is watching, getting ready for his lacrosse game. He just gave a little shout out.
All right. Thanks, Craig. And Gale out in front of that one. It's going to be down the third base line. Little Giants giving chase. That's going to get into the bullpen as the player protecting the pitcher warming up down there kind of got in the way of Henry Wannemuller a little bit.
Well, you've got that little section of the patio that juts out, and the ball sailed just behind that. So Wannemuller was going to have a tough angle to try and get to it. It was really going to have to be Chavez. But then because it's a cutaway where the bullpen is, there's more space. Chavez would have run out of room if it were a straight line wall. But because it cut away, Chavez had extra ground that he had to try and cover, and no chance for him to get there from his shortstop position.
1-2 to Gale. He checks his swing, just gets a piece of that one at the plate. We'll do it again at a ball and 2 strikes.
Moffitt tried to get him on the outside part of the plate. Gale did a good job of just fouling that pitch away to stay alive.
Of course, Wooster needs to win this one. They're currently down 9 as we head to the 6th inning here. Wabash with 2 chances to win a game. And should the Little Giants hang on in this one, would mark the program's 2nd NCAC tournament title. Wooster won the regular season crown, the program's league-leading 18th conference title. Used to be the winner of the tournament was also deemed the conference champion, but that's not the case this year with the round-robin format, as the team with the highest winning percentage that played at least 14 conference games was deemed the NCAC champion, and that went to Wooster. As you can hang that K backwards on Gale as Moffitt threw a fastball, and Gale watched it go right by for the first out of the inning. That's going to be Moffitt's 2nd strikeout of the game, first since the first batter he faced in Drew Torno.
Want to give a quick shout out to Jimmy Hafner. Jimmy lives right next to Goodrich Ballpark. He's a volunteer with the Wabash program so many different ways. Helps out with football, with basketball, with baseball. He's always out on the porch watching Wabash baseball games. So Jimmy's watching today. Probably has the TV fired up. He uses the Roku to pull our live stream video feeds onto his screen. So Jimmy, glad to have you aboard this afternoon. We'll see you when we get home tonight.
Be a quick turnaround for you, Brent, as Walls watches the 0-1 pitch dip downstairs 1-1 as you're helping out with the commencement tomorrow at Wabash.
Yeah, we'll do a multi-camera broadcast. I will be on the crane cam, so I'll be behind the stage, showing some different angles of our graduates coming across to get their diplomas.
They make sure to give you the cool camera angle with the crane.
I'm the only one that's operated a crane cam, so I get that one by default. But Adam Phipps will produce that. But it's just an outstanding opportunity to honor the 199 young men who will graduate with this class. Outstanding students at Wabash College. It's one of the reasons I love being there, not just interacting with the student athletes, but I get so many students who work in my office or just fans of the sport teams that come out.
That's back-to-back strikeouts for Moffitt, who gets Walls to chase a pitch there for the second out in the top of the 6th inning.
I'm always just, I'm really taken aback the number of students who either stop by the office for something or I run into on campus whom I may not have necessarily met, but they're always, hi, Mr. Harris. They know who I am. They get involved in activities on the campus. It's just a pleasure to be at Wabash College and be around so many people and the staff and faculty who care so much about the students.
First pitch to Wentworth Dukes, misses, ball 1. Worcester's commencement on Monday will also be available on a live stream as well on the worcester.edu website. Wentworth Dukes, a home run his last time up. He's really made an impact for head coach Tim Potterini. They're filling in at third base today for Chandler Dittman, who's getting the game off due to resting his arm a little bit from all the pitches he threw last night. Wentworth Dukes has 2 of the Scots' 4 runs, reached on an error in the 3rd, and then that homer back in the 4th inning.
Yeah, hit the no-doubter out to center field over the head of Tyler Downing.
And he might have a second one there as he skies this one out to left field. And Wolf's going to watch it go. And Harry Wentworth Dukes have a day for the Scots sophomore, his 2nd round tripper.
Very similar to the home run that Harwood hit. Moffitt left a pitch over the plate low and away. And again, that gave Wentworth Dukes a chance to get the arms extended and a good solid swing right through the zone, got it elevated and took it out over the VA Memorial Stadium sign at the top of the scoreboard. And as you called it, Kevin, an absolute no-doubter for Wentworth Dukes but the benefit for Wabash, 2 of these home runs have been solo shots.
Yes, both the Wentworth Dukes have been solo shots. 4 of the Scots' 5 runs now have come by the lawn ball as Fling taps one foul at the plate. It's now 13-5 Wabash here in the top of the 6th inning.
We'll borrow a golf phrase right now. Worcester's been able to drive for show.
Now it's
Giants have been putting for dough.
Yes, definitely. So we just passed a little bit ago, the original start time of this game as we moved up to try to get the weather so that way you guys can hop on the bus back for commencement.
Get a few hours of sleep in my own bed and then off to set up with baccalaureate in the morning and then commencement beginning with the processional starting a little after 2 o'clock and the ceremony starting at 2:30.
Here's Moffitt's pitching that one backwards on Fling. So Moffitt's given up 3 homers now since he entered, but he's come back strong after all 3 of them. And the Scots are creeping closer. It's now 13-5 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on Wabash Live.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Kevin Smith and Brent Harris bringing you the call today from the championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. We're in Game 1, Game 6 overall here at VA Memorial Stadium this week, where it's Wabash 13, Wooster 5. Wabash wins this one, the tournament's over, and the Little Giants have their second NCAC tournament title. Should Scots rally here in the final 3 trips to the plate, we could potentially have the winner-takes-all game later today, which will begin about 30 minutes after this one ends. But, of course, the Scots had to find a way to climb out of the 8-run hole, and here to try to do that from a pitching standpoint, it's going to be Jeremy Parton. Parton's going to be summoned out of the bullpen. He's the 6th pitcher to work today for the Scots. He's 2-0 with 2 saves, a 5.47 ERA. This is going to be Parton's 14th outing. He has not pitched yet here in Chillicothe this week. He's 0-0 with a 7.27 ERA over 8 2/3 innings in his last 5 outings. Here in the win against Rose Holman on April 15th, part of the Indiana swing, when the Scots played the Engineers on the tail end of the doubleheader with the Little Giants on the trip back. And first pitch swinging, it's going to be Tyler Downing with a single out to right field.
So the only inning the Little Giants have not had the leadoff man aboard was the 5th inning. Wabash still managed to score 2 runs in that inning, but the other 4 innings leading into this 6th, Wabash with the lead runner aboard every inning, they've only failed to score in the 3rd.
And Wanamueller shows bunt, pulls it back for ball 1. Wanamueller had a sacrifice bunt yesterday.
That was the 14th hit of the game for Wabash.
He squares again, pulls it back, catches the corner. 1-1 is the count now on Wanamueller. With Downing on first, we're in the bottom of the 6th. It's Wabash 13, Wooster 5. Wanamueller 1 for 3, run batted in. We'll see if he's bunting again here. He squares it real quick, pulls it back. Walls throw down to first, not in time. Back standing is Downing as that pitch was outside. Counting out 2-1 on Wanamueller. Clouds picking up a little bit. Wind still blowing pretty steadily as Wanamueller sends it down the first base line. It's going to hook foul. Count now 2-2 on the Little Giants' 3rd baseman. Is it going to be Ethan Myers going out to warm up in the bullpen now? Senior right-hander. This Fighting Scots relief corps has had no answer for the Little Giants bats today.
Wabash just again swinging with a lot of confidence, coming in winning the first 2 games on Thursday and Friday, playing out of the winner's side of the bracket. They know everything lines up in their favor. If they did not take a lead here in game 1 and would not be able to hold on to the lead they currently have, they still have another game.
And they still have the pitching. We're going to have strike 3. So we're going to have a swinging bunt strikeout.
The rare bunt strikeout. Most teams take the bunt off with 2 strikes. Coach Martin hoping Wanamueller might have a chance to get one down, so he left the bunt play on. But it brings the top of the order and Jared Wolf to the plate.
Wolf flied out his last time up. He led off the 5th inning. He was the lone Little Giant not to reach to start an inning today, although he did so back in the 1st with the leadoff single, and he did so yesterday with the leadoff double in the top of the 1st when the Little Giants were the visiting team. And that set the tone for Wabash the rest of the way as he fouls the 1-0 pitch from Parton out of play. Count now 1-1 on Wolf.
Wolfie works in my office. He's our defensive statistician for home football games and has worked the Big Ten championship and high school state championships with me, working with the Colts stats crew. I serve on that, have for 25 years now. Actually did Colts stats before I came to Wabash. And it's provided an opportunity for some of our students to be involved in some great events like the Big Ten Championship.
Yes, great experience for the Little Giants students as Wolf fouls the 1-1 pitch out of play right side. Parton now ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. And Crum in front of the runner gets to that one. Goes to Wolansky, return throw not in time, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. Crum thought he had the inning-ending double play when he started into the dugout, but not the case as Wolf beats it out down the first base line.
Again, good speed out of the box. It was a nice play by Crum. He immediately fielded the ball and threw to Wolansky, but you've got good speed and Wolf coming out of that left-handed batter's box. It was going to be tough to make the turn. It was a nice turn by Wolansky, but Wolf able to beat it out on the throw back to first.
Now it's Sean Rodzinski. Little Rojo at the top. Little Giant batter in this game. Scots have yet to get him out. He's 3 for 3, hit by pitch last time up. And he takes a called strike at the hollow of the kneecap. Rodzinski's 3 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Those on a second inning double. He scored all 4 times. He's come up to the plate and he stole third base his last time up.
And that was at the hollow of a very sore kneecap because that hit by pitch. He took off the knee. Had to take a moment or two to shake that off in his last at-bat before coming around to score.
Runner goes, pitch taken for a strike. Throw by Wall, skips into center fields, and then a little mix-up by Sturzma and the runner Wolf. So Wolf wasn't able to get off to third. Sturzma helps him out.
And now Jake Martin wants to know if that's obstruction on the infielder as they got tangled up. I think he's going to be told no, just a case of a runner sliding in and the fielder trying, Sturzma trying to field the ball as it got away. Yes. But, coaches are always going to ask that question.
Yes. Great show of sportsmanship by Wolf and Sturzma out there at second base.
They'll always ask that question, but very rarely do they get the answer they want.
Yes. So it's always sulking back to the coach's box or the dugout, depending where the head coach positions himself for the game.
Going back on your own.
Yes. And not after getting the heave-ho. Parton changes his windup and gets Rodzinski out in front of that one, and it's going to be fouled out to Garrett Crum. So for the first time of the day, the Scots pitcher is able to get Rodzinski out, and for the second time today, Wooster's able to keep Wabash off the scoreboard. And through 6 innings, it's 13-3 Wabash over Wooster here on Wabash Live.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
7th inning here, final third of the game. Scots have a lot of work to do against the Little Giants as it's Wabash 13, Wooster 5 here in the championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. Kevin Smith alongside Brent Harrison. Still going to be Zach Moffitt on the mound. He's made 103 pitches now over his 3 outings here at the NCAC Tournament. Pitched 3 innings yesterday, 3 1/3 so far today. And an inning on Thursday night.
That's been an interesting 3 1/3 today, though, because he's also gotten some rest between each inning because Wabash has been able to have long at-bats, and that's allowed him to keep that arm loose.
It's going to be a comebacker to the mound. He gloves it off the bat of Sturzma, throws over to first for the first out of the inning. Really good job to jam up Sturzma there. Now it's Michael Wolanski. He's 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. He scored on Dan Harwood's home run back in the 5th inning. So Wolanski now with 198 career runs, 2 shy of 200. And if he gets there before the end of this year, he'll join Matt Gelati, the 2000 graduate of Southwestern down in Texas, as the only juniors to have 200 hits, 200 runs, and 150 or more runs batted in before the end of their junior year. And he's going to have an infield single as Moffitt stumbled a little bit coming off the mound, tried to make the play, did the non-Jake Martin approach, and tried to make the play instead let the infielders make the play, but Wolanski probably would have beat that one out with his speed, but he's still able to kind of from the seat of his pants get a throw off.
We've talked about the surface. No metal cleats, so you're wearing flats, and that time Moffitt just couldn't get his footing as he tried to get that ball. He jammed Wolanski, and it was another tapper. But this one was a little further toward the third base side of the bag, or of the mound, and Moffitt didn't get a good step off. He stumbled a bit, knocked the ball down, but couldn't make a throw.
Now Moffitt will have to deal with Dan Harwood. Thought about it, but held up for ball 1. Harwood 2-run homer in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3 overall with a strikeout as well.
Well, we've said hello to most of the Olmsted family. We may as well add one more member. Lisa Olmsted, Scott's wife, Olmie's mom. So Lisa is watching.
1-0 to Harwood. Checked again, but that one's going to be a called strike as it got in there. Six hits now for the Scots, 14 for the Little Giants. It's an 8-run difference in the runs column as well, 13-5 in the top of the 7th. With Harwood at the plate, Wolanski on first and Crum on deck. And Harwood skies that one into the outfield, where Wolf's going to move into the gap and make the catch for the second out of the inning. It's a great job by Moffitt there to recover to get one of the most dangerous hitters in Division III to fly out for the second out of the inning.
Well, and more importantly, coming back on a guy that took him deep to right field for that 2-run homer in the last at-bat, finding a way to get him to fly out here in this trip to the plate.
Now it's going to be up to Garrett Crum to extend the inning. Crum 0 for 2. Drew bases loaded. A walk for the Scots' first run of the game back in the 3rd inning. That pitch just missed outside. Ball 1. Looked pretty good from up here.
May have been just a little above the letters as he worked the upper half of the zone.
That one's going to catch the corner. Count now 1-1 on Crum.
That gives us an opportunity to say hats off to this umpiring crew that's done a great job all weekend long. They've had some tough calls to make. They've made them. Really haven't had any issues at all with this crew. Outstanding job.
Yes, definitely. Count now 2-1 on Crum. Drew Torno waits on deck. Moffitt's still out on the mound. There's been some little Giants standing around in the bullpen for quite some time now. But Jake Martin's closer's really done a fine job to this point, but he's behind here in the count to Crum. 3 balls and a strike. Now up to 113 pitches over the last 3 days. So he's really done a lion's share of the work for the Little Giants. But he's gotten the job done as the runner takes off, and it's upstairs for ball 4. So 2 on with 2 out in the top of the 7th. It's still 13-5 Wabash. Drew Torno at the plate. Moffitt came in to face Torno, who struck out with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning, flied out his last trip to the plate. So see if he's able to make an adjustment now facing the Little Giants relief ace for the 3rd time in the game.
And I wondered for a moment because Jake Martin came sprinting out of the dugout and then handed the umpire a baseball. So I thought, well, Jake's going to pull the trigger on Zach here, get him some rest after a fine outing. Just came out to give the umpire one more baseball to use.
That pitch is going to be downstairs, ball 1. Looks like Nick Strasbaugh is going to be on deck should the inning continue for a pinch hit appearance. Remember, the Fighting Scots football team is Strasbaugh.
Oh, yes,
but for now, it's Torno. Fouls it out of play. Had a couple touchdowns against the Little Giants. The Little Giants ultimately held off the Fighting Scots down the stretch in the 4th quarter to win that game.
But just a solid football player and a good baseball player as well. Good two-sport athlete for the Scots.
Frankly, he did not play football as a freshman at the college. He only played baseball, won the starting left field job, and has never looked back. But for now, it's Tornow who lifts one into right field off of Moffett, and that one's going to be gone. Hits the tree, comes back in, and the right fielder was actually, Jumonville was actually able to catch it, but it's a 3-run dinner for Torno, who hits it off the tree in right field. And just like that, the Scots are back within 5, 13-8. 13-8 now.
Yeah, no doubter off the bat of Tornow, and that makes up for the mistake he had out in the outfield, and he just absolutely crushed that ball. Moffitt left one up. That's going to do it for Zach today. A good outing. The numbers may not look as impressive as the outing really is. He's going to end up giving up 7 earned runs today through 4 innings and allowed 5 hits. But even though he's given up those runs, he's come right back afterwards and gotten key outs for Wabash, allowed the Little Giants to help build up this 13-8 lead. And now he'll turn things over to, is that Kevin O'Donnell, I believe, out on the mound for Wabash now to try and close out this 7th inning.
Number 22.
Yep, Kevin O'Donnell. We mentioned doing his job earlier in the game, tracking the pitching chart and running foul balls out to the umpire. And now he'll be called on in this relief appearance to try and get the Little Giants out of the 7th inning. Wabash having given up the 3 runs on the bomb by Drew Tornow. And the base is empty with 2 down here in the top of the 7th.
O'Donnell, the second on the team in appearances. This is going to be his 21st. He's worked 18 2/3 innings. He's 1-2 with a 5.30 earned run average. He worked an inning against the Scots during the regular season, had a strikeout. In his last 5 outings, he's pitched 4 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 runs with 3 strikeouts. He'll have a pinch hitter to start, as it is going to be Strasbaugh coming to the plate. Strasbaugh pinch hitting for Gale in the DH spot. It's now 13-8. Strasbaugh seen limited action here in Chillicothe. He's still working his way back from an ankle injury a few weeks ago. He's 0 for 4. 2 for 9 against Little Giants on the year with a run. 2 for 8 in the regular season, as his appearance yesterday was in a pinch hit opportunity. He's going to get drilled in the back of the helmet. Not happy with that one is Strasbaugh, who gives a pretty hefty toss on the bat flip towards the dugout, and he'll go down to first.
Yeah, it was an off-speed pitch that got away from O'Donnell and just sailed right in on him.
So O'Donnell now will have Harrison Walls at the plate.
And not what Wabash wanted, because now you want to, the Scots are starting to cut into this lead, and we know Wooster can put runs on the board in a hurry. See the 3-run homer by Tornow.
They're gonna say that hit with Harrison Walls. The home plate umpire never held his hands up that it hit him, but apparently it did glance off of Harrison Walls. and Jake Martin's immediately going to go make another pitching change.
Yeah, not the outing certainly that you want, and again, you can't put runners on base because we've seen the Scots can score instantly with one swing of the bat. 3 home runs in this ball game.
4 now.
Yeah, 4 now with the 3-run bomb by Tornow. And again, Wabash has all of its bullpen available. They have not had to use it much throughout this tournament. So Martin is going to go to it here as O'Donnell will come out after hitting 2 batters with 2 outs.
2 pitches, 2 hit batters, and of course the man with 2 of those home runs, Harry Whitwer-Duke, set to climb into the batter's box.
And guess who he's going to face? Brian Roberts.
Brian Roberts coming out of the bullpen in this one. The Little Giants ace on the year. Roberts, 132nd in Division III in earned run average entering the week, 4th in the conference, 4th in opposing average. He leads the league in innings pitched and strikeouts. And he pitched 8 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 of those earned with 8 strikeouts against Denison here on Thursday night. On the year, Roberts 7-3, 235. This is his 14th appearance, 2nd out of the bullpen, 80 1/3 innings. He's allowed 66 hits, 29 runs, 69 strikeouts. The opposition hitting 228 against. Roberts' last 3 starts have been a dandy 1-1, 1.8 is the ERA. He pitched the opener against the Wooster and the Wooster Wabash doubleheader. Went 4 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, and a pair of strikeouts.
And just an unbelievable competitor, senior leader on this pitching staff, and BR has just gotten the job done. Really, the last 3 years, he of course has only the 2nd no-hitter in Wabash College baseball history, the first happening back in the 1930s. He no-hit Wittenberg in a 7-inning game back when we played the 4-game series, played a 7 and a 9. He got a 7-inning no-hitter against the Tigers to earn those accolades.
And this year, he's a 3-time North Coast Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Week. Won 1 a month during the regular season, February 26, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, an unearned run, and 5 strikeouts against Transylvania. Then he won on March 19th. He had 10 strikeouts against Hanover, 1 run, 8 hits, and then career high 8 innings. They also won it on April 2nd for a win over Allegheny. They'll have Harry Whitwer-Dukes at the plate. First pitch just upstairs, missing for ball 1 on Whitwer-Dukes, who has a pair of homers in this game, including over the towering scoreboard. The big giant, or the big monster rather, pardon me, here at BA Memorial Stadium. Of course, if it's any part of the scoreboard, it's a home run, but Whitwer-Dukes punch 1 over the scoreboard.
No sense in letting it get in the way.
Yes. As Roberts works. Runners on first and second. Scots have 3 runs in this inning. All 3 came in on a home run by Drew Tornow. And Scots almost had 3 hit batters in a row as Whitwer-Dukes had to jump back a little bit out of the way of that one. He's ahead in the count now, 2 balls and a strike against Roberts, who just entered here in the 7th inning. Top the order on deck for the Scots should the inning continue. But it might not, as Whitwer-Dukes pops 1 up. Wannemuller calling for it, and he secures it on the infield for the 3rd out of the inning, and we've reached stretch time here at BA Memorial Stadium, where it's now Wabash 13, Wooster 8 on Wabash Live.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
It's on us. It's on all of us. And it's time to act now.
It's on us to start the change. It's on us to be the change. It's on us. It's on Division III. It's on all of us to stop sexual assault.
Bottom of the 7th, it's Wabash 13, Wooster 8. Championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament. I'm Kevin Smith alongside Brent Harris. Be Jeremy Parton out for his second inning of work. He's been the lone pitcher thus far to solve the puzzle of the Little Giants thus far, as he worked a scoreless 6th inning just the second time today. The 6 Wooster pitchers that have been used have kept Wabash off the board. He'll be counted on to do likewise here as the Scots have started to climb back into this one, thanks to a 3-run homer by Drew Torno last inning. But Parton will have 2, 3, 4 due up.
Well, and
excuse me, 3, 4, 5.
And now you get to the part of the game where Little Giants would like to maybe just push one more, maybe 2 more runs across to try and answer the Tornow home run, because now the Scots' backs are against the wall in terms of the number of opportunities they have remaining.
Right, we're in the 7th inning as Aldridge takes strike 1 from Parton. Aldridge 3 for 4, 2 singles, a double, pair of runs scored, stolen base. Gets underneath that one, it's getting towards right field, a little bit trouble. Crum still backpedaling in foul ground, makes the catch. So Crum's had his work cut out for him the last 2 batters, but he's up to the task with a pair of Little Giants fouling out to the first baseman. It's now going to be Andrew Jumonville. He's got 3 runs batted in this one. Struck out looking his last time up. Trying to make up for that here is Jumonville. Here's Parton's pitch. Down at the knees for called strike. Activity again in Worcester's bullpen. Case Parton runs into trouble, but for now it's the sophomore out of Stowe, Ohio, and here's Parton's pitch. Outside ball, 1-1 now on Jumonville.
Yeah, came in that tough situation last inning with runners on base again and really eliminated the damage and has been solid here to begin this 7th inning.
Misses downstairs there. Count now 2-1 on Jumonville. He had that 2-run triple in the 2nd inning. Here's Parton's 2-1 pitch. Out of play down the first base line. Count now 2-2 on the rookie right fielder for the Little Giants. It's an interesting game here, Brent, in the championship round, as it's been the bullpen doing the lion's share of the pitching.
Yeah, good start for Tyler Cooper overall, but he really had the plate jumping around on him in the 3rd inning, so he had to come out. Zach Moffitt has come on and done a great job, and Parton here really trying to limit the damage, but he gives up the walk to Jumonville to put a runner on base with 1 away.
It's now Jackson Blevins climbing in. 2-run double his last time up. He also has 3 runs batted in the game. 3rd one came courtesy of a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 1st inning. Blevins entered the day 348 on the year. He's now up to 57 hits. First pitch from Parton fouled off. Blevins really bounced back. He didn't have a hit in the last 5 games of the regular season, but he's really made his mark known here at the tournament once finals were over with.
Well, that and again that move by Coach Martin to move him out of the 4-hole into the 5-hole, give him a chance to relax a little bit, not be concerned about having to be that 4-hitter. Jumonville has done a nice job of taking care of that position, and that's allowed Blevins to swing the bat a little looser.
He's 5 for 11 now, 6 for 12 at the tournament. Playing up with it. Here's going to be a throw to third. It's going to be cut off by Wilansky. No relay to third base, as Jumonville able to get over to third on the 1-out single by Blevins.
So just as I mentioned, Little Giants, you don't have to get all 3 runs of Tornow's home run back, but you'd like to put another run on the board. Just remind the Scots that that Wabash is still going to try and swing the bat, put things in play, and you've got your ace on the mound in Brian Roberts. Unknown how long he can go, but he looked strong to close out that 7th inning.
Yes, Matthew Ane now the designated hitter. He's walked his last 2 times up, came around and scored in the 4th inning, overall 0 for 2 on the day. It's going to be a called strike on the inner corner of the plate. Check on the runner at first. Nothing going. Blevins back with a dive. Blevins does have 10 steals on the year. He's a perfect 10 for 10. Interesting to see if he goes in motion at all during this at-bat. He does not on this pitch. As Parton ahead in the count, 0-2 now. Good fastball there from the sophomore right-hander.
Yeah, after a good start for Parton, walk and then the base hit by Blevins, so trying to work his way out of some trouble here, self-caused, in this bottom of the 7th inning.
0-2 pitch, that's going to be grounded off the glove of Parton. It's going to get into the outfield. Parton tried to make a play on it, but it's going to come back to bite him, as that's an RBI single. And Blevins over to third on that one, as Sturzma was ranging up the middle. He would have been able to make that play, but instead the ricochet into the outfield for a RBI single.
And even worse for the Scots, who might have had a chance. It was going to be a high hopper, and it wasn't hit all that hard, but some of that was because Parton took a lot of the spin off. Might have been a good chance for Sturzma to try and turn the double play and get the Scots out of the inning. Instead, a run scores for Wabash, and they extend their lead now to 14-8.
It's going to be Chavez after the meeting on the mound. Pitching coach Barry Craddock out to try to calm down Parton here.
Yeah, and that's just a tough break because Parton's trying to make a play, and he might have had a chance to throw back to Walensky and start a 1-6-3 double play to end the inning had he come up with that cleanly. But it was again a high chopper off of the surface, and that made it high above his head, and he just reached to try and make the play. When he did, it glanced off his glove, and there was no opportunity for Sturzma as it sailed into the hole that he had vacated to try and make the play behind Parton.
As Scots do have the artificial surface at Art Murray Field, but just seeing the bounce on this field here, this artificial surface definitely has more hop in it with the, yeah, a little more life with the baseball than Art Murray Field. Speed Chavez, he struck up his last time up, 1 for 2, RBI single in the 4th. Prior to that, he walked his first 2 trips to the plate, including to lead off the 3rd inning. Same was actually the 2nd time of the day the Little Giants haven't got the leadoff man on board the other time, as there's a bunt and nobody covering.
And that may be one Eric Chavez did on his own. He may have taken a look around and decided, I think I'm going to bunt it because it looks like they're coming in, trying to cut a run down. I will just bunt it and see if they know what they want to do. And the Scots got caught napping.
I would say that might have been on his own, as the runner didn't really break from third. Blevins, of course, he wasn't forced to. But now there's bases loaded. 2nd bunt single on a sacrifice attempt of the day for the Little Giants. We're now in business with the bases loaded. Get back to my thought from a few seconds ago. The last time the Little Giants didn't get the leadoff man on board was the 5th. But they still scored 2 runs in the inning and are primed to tack on to the one they already have across here with Tyler Downing at the plate. In his last 2 plate appearances, a double and a single, 2 runs batted in on that 2-bagger in the 4th inning. He's behind in the count, no balls and a strike. As Parton comes set, the pitch. Downing lifts one out to center field, good piece of hitting. This is going to be deep enough to get the run home, as Flame's going to throw it into third to try to keep the Little Giants at 1st and 2nd, but 2 runs in the inning now on Downing's sacrifice fly.
3rd RBI of the afternoon for Tyler Downing. Nice start to his big senior weekend. He gets a nice round of applause and hands from his teammates as he heads back to the dugout.
That's now 15-8. Here's a pitch from Parton. That's going to be a wild pitch. Gets all the way up the first baseline. Parton's not covering home, so there is a danger right now as time is finally called. But Parton never came in to cover home, so that's a danger here.
Yeah, Little Giants were not going to take that chance, though. Parton was frustrated with the wild pitch. So no opportunity. Wabash would just take the 90 feet to move the runners up to second and third, but Parton was just frustrated that he threw the pitch into the turf and just kind of shrugged his shoulders and didn't follow through with his job, but I think there was no danger. Wabash was going to try and extend that with this 15-8 lead, just satisfied to move up runners into scoring position again with 2 outs.
There's a strike there. Count now 1-1 on Wanamueller. $15 runs, 17 hits now for the Little Giants. They do have an error, 8-7-0. Little Giants with a chance to extend there as Harwood's not going to be able to get to that single by Wanamueller, and the Little Giants are going to get 2 more in. 2-run single by Wanamueller, and it's now 17-8.
Just confident hitting all the way through the lineup today for the Little Giants. They've been able to rack up 18 hits in this ball game and have been able to make them count with 17 runs crossing the plate. And again, it's been all the way from Wolf at the top of the order, now down to Henry Wanamueller with his second hit of the ball game and first RBI of the game. So great job top to bottom for the Little Giants this afternoon.
All 9 Little Giants now have a hit in the game, as there's a ball to Wolf. With a runner on first and 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Wolf skies one where Dukes is going to have a potential plan. It's actually going to be Walls, and neither of them able to get that one as it's going to fall foul. Looked like it came back on Walls a little bit and kind of had trouble locating that one again.
Yeah, and it is tough. I mean, that ball gets up in the air. You've got some cloud cover now, but it still is a pretty high sky. Walls gave it a good look.
One the count now on Wolf. Reached on fielder's choice his last time up, and a good pick by first baseman Garrett Crum. Return throw from Wolanski was nearly in time, but Wolf was able to beat it out. That off-speed pitch stays upstairs. Count now 2-1 on Wolf. Here's Parton's pitch. Just misses. Count now 3-1. Parton up to 36 pitches in the game. And it's going to be a walk, a 2-out walk to Wolf. Wanamueller's going to move up to second. And one of the last men the Scots want to see at the plate. Orginski is going to be up now, 9th man to bat in this inning. Mentioned the extended length of time the Little Giants pitching staff's been in the dugout today. Roberts is having an extended rest. Here's Parton's pitch. Fly ball out to center field. Fling tracking it. He'll have plenty of room out there, and the side is retired in the bottom of the 7th. It's still a lot of work for the Scots to do, who now trail this one 17-8. We'll step aside on Wabash Live.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Eighth inning here on Wabash Live. Kevin Smith, Brent Harris, bringing you the action from the championship round of the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Tournament, where it's Wabash 17, Wooster 8. Little Giants 6 outs away from closing out this one and securing the program's second conference tournament title. Wooster would need a massive rally here with 6 outs to work with, and then would need to win the second game to win the title. That'll be the top of the order trying to spark the Scots as Roberts in there pitching downstairs to flame ball 1. Roberts came in, made 4 pitches, and then had to sit through 9 Little Giants coming to the plate there in the bottom of the 7th inning. And he gets Fling guessing. Count now 1-1 on the Scots senior center fielder.
Well, and for Wabash fans, if Brian is able to retire these final 6, get these 6 outs recorded. Nice play by Chavez, but he won't have a chance to throw out the speedy Fling.
That was a great play pick by Chavez there deep in the hole. Of course, no chance to get many of the Scots runners. We're actually going to have a pinch hitter for Jake Sturzma. So Sturzma's day is done. It's going to be Dippman, one of the heroes from last night's game against the Denison Big Red. Dippman got the game ball, and he went the distance. He enters today as a pinch hitter as the Scots didn't start him defensively, trying to give him a little bit of a rest after nearly 120 pitches, and he's swinging at the first pitch, skying one into the outfield. It's going to be Tyler Downing sprinting in. He'll track that one down. So Dittman swings at the first pitch in his pinch hit appearance, and he's the first out of the inning. Now it's Michael Wolansky. He singled and scored his last time up. 2 walks in the game, 2 runs scored, and fingers crossed he's able to reach here and score later this inning, because he is at 199 career runs right now. It'd be good to finally get that note officially out there instead of talking about it, but he's going to have to climb out of an 0-2 hole. Here is a great pitch there by Roberts.
A tremendous career already, a tremendous career still ahead for Michael Wolansky.
And he's going to watch that dandy of a pitch from Roberts, who's going to hang one backwards on Wolansky there for the second out of the inning. Flames still at first after reaching on the leadoff single, and the Scots are in danger of stranding Fling at first for the second time today after he led off an inning with a base hit.
Well, Roberts worked Wolansky with 2 fastballs and then threw the curveball on the outer half and just spotted it on the plate and had Wolansky just looking back at him as he headed into the dugout.
It's a great pitch by Roberts, who comes set, and Harwood trying to take a rip at the first pitch, fouls it off.
We were talking this morning just as we were getting ready to head to the ballpark, and we said, well, do you pitch Brian Roberts at all today? Do you save him? Should you win and get into the NCAA tournament? And I just said, and I know Jake Martin has this same approach, you have to get to the tournament to be in the tournament.
Yes.
And you don't get in the tournament unless you win this conference championship tournament. And so Brian Roberts is out here to try and do this for Wabash.
Yes, obviously there are 16 pool C bids. Should Wooster not win twice today, it'll need one of those to be in the tournament. Wabash, very slim, kind of on the outside looking in type of scenario if they don't get a win today.
Yeah, I think it's realistic to say that the Wabash wouldn't get in. What happens is now you have a lot of questions with the Denison team that's had an outstanding season. But does Wabash end up eating one of their bid opportunities?
Right, or potentially a team like Case Western Reserve, who basically now probably needs a pool B bid to get in Matt Englander, the head coach there, of course, pitched for Tim Petterini as Harwood flies out to left field to end the top of the 8th inning with Wabash still leading. The lead's back out to 9 at 17-8. We'll step aside here on Wabash Live.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Playing some musical positions defensively is the College of Wooster, as Aaron Spidell's going to check in left field as a defensive replacement for Dan Harwood. He's going to be in the 4th spot in the lineup for those of you scoring at home. With Chandler Dittman pitching yesterday, Dittman's going to stay on. He's going to play over at first base, which is going to slide Garrett Crum to 3rd. Dittman, who pinch hit for Sturzman, that means that Harry Whitworth Dukes is now going to be at 2nd base, and we got a new pitcher to tell you about. It's going to be senior Ethan Myers getting the call for the Fighting Scots. Myers is coming on here in the 8th, the senior right-hander on the season. Is making his 7th appearance, no wins, no losses, as saves, 6.75 as Myers' ERA. He's worked 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 5 walks, does have 8 strikeouts. His best pitch is his curveball, and when it's on, it's very hard to hit, so we'll see what Myers is able to do pitching here with his Scots down 17-8.
Of course, the Little Giants will now not be taking chances on anything. No extra, if there's a chance to try and stretch a double into a triple, a single into a double, the brakes will be on. They are just happy to go station to station. Now you're to the point, we know there are 3 outs left, really 6 outs left in this game. And you want to get to the top half of the 9th and try and get those 3 outs that you need to win this title.
Yes, it's going to be Bryce Aldridge. He takes first pitch strike from Myers. Aldridge leading off for the 2nd straight inning as the Little Giants had 9 men to the plate last time up. Aldridge fouled out to first baseman Garrett Crum, who's now over at 3rd base. Here's Myers' 0-1 pitch to Aldridge in there for strike 2.
You talked about his curveball, and we've seen 2 excellent ones to begin this at-bat.
That's his bread and butter. Not a super hard thrower, so he has to rely on that curveball almost exclusively. Here's 0-2. Upstairs count now 1-2 on Aldridge. Be an interesting Pool C when it comes around, as some of the teams that need a Pool C this year. Cortland, for one, they're always a big-time power in Division III baseball. As Myers bounces one in there, count now 2-2. Of course, Denison, Wooster, should they not rally to tie or take the lead when they come up in the top of the 9th inning. So the runner-up in the OAC is going to have a strong resume as well, whether that be Otterbein or Baldwin Wallace, as a 2-2 from Myers. Lined right at Wolanski for the first out of the inning. Wolanski didn't have to move for that one, just had to stick the glove out and make sure the ball wound up in it.
Almost pitch and catch between Aldridge and Wolanski. Not so much a hit, as it looked like Aldridge could have just thrown that one right to him. So 1 out for Wabash here in the bottom of the 8th.
Andrew Jumonville now walked and scored his last time up. One of 5 runs the Little Giants had last inning. to really take command. 4 runs last inning to really take command of this game again. First pitch swinging, he grounds it to Sturzma, stumbles, but able to get it, throw over to first in time is the throw from Sturzma to up 2 down against Ethan Myers here in the bottom of the 8th. And it's now going to be Jackson Blevins.
Blevins, another good afternoon. He has doubled home a couple of runs, singled and scored a run in his last at bat, and nice addition to the Wabash lineup. We talked about it early in the ball game, and looking forward to another good 2 years with Jackson here at Wabash.
He bats left-handed against Myers. First pitch, another curveball in there for a strike. So Myers has come in 7 pitches, 5 strikes. Really taking charge here in the bottom of the 8th inning, trying to get the Scots back in the dugout. We'll try to mount a near historic rally as it's a 9-run game. That pitch tips downstairs, 1-1 now on Blevins, who overall is 2 for 4 in this game. He's hitting .500 here at the NCAC tournament. Now 6 for 12 with 5 runs batted in. The 1-1 from Myers. That's down in the turf, 2-1 now on Blevins. Of course, the tournament field will be released sometime after 12 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. That could be 12 o'clock on the nose. It could be 3:15 in the morning.
That's going to make a busy May for me, as Wabash looks like they could have the Little Giants playing in the NCAA baseball tournament. Looks like Rashawn Jones will qualify for the outdoor track and field championships as one of the faster hurdlers at the 110-meter hurdles this season. And we already have the tennis duo of Will Reifeis and Patrick McCauley that will be participating out at Claremont Mudd Scripps in the tennis doubles championship.
A walk there to Blevins, 2-out base runner for the Little Giants. Wooster will hopefully have Carolyn Webster in the high jump at the national championship. She cleared 5.5 1/4 last night at Baldwin Wallace's last chance meet, and that's tied for 17th nationally. Head coach Dennis Wrights last week felt that was going to be the magic mark to get over to get into the championships this year. She'll, of course, try to improve on that at Ohio Wesleyan's last chance meet this week. It's a pitch from Myers. Downstairs, ball 1.
And Wabash was at that meet as well. And Kevin, I had a great opportunity. Wabash served as the host for the indoor track and field championships, and just got a chance to see outstanding men and women competing at that event. Really enjoy hosting that. We only host about every 7 years, obviously, with the rotation, but really enjoyed that opportunity.
Yes, we're actually next in the rotation, so we'll have that meet in March of 2019 at the Scott Center. The 1-0 pitch to Ane fouled off first base side. So you'll be the one up waiting for the release. You're going to sleep through and find out on Monday morning, or are you going to set the alarm clock for every couple hours to see if it's up?
I don't think I'll have to wait for the release. Coach Martin and I have each other's cell phones, and he's pretty good about every once in a while I'll get a late night text from him, and he's not surprised when he gets a late night text from me. So I have a feeling he'll know and will text me when that word comes out if Wabash, again, holds on here for the win.
Yes, so should the Little Giants hold on and get a win today, you're going to make him be the one to stay up all night then.
He's the head coach. He gets the fun. His team's work to earn it.
Yes. Definitely be a great experience for the Little Giants, having been several years since the last trip, 2011.
And Wabash had some good success in that. Lost in the opening round to Shenandoah, but then knocked off then #1 ranked Christopher Newport. Actually knocked Christopher Newport from the tournament before losing the very next day.
Here's Myers' 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wooster, of course, one of the staples in the tournament. Nationally, Tim Petterini has 5 Mid-East regional titles during his career, a pair of runner-up showings at the Division III World Series, most recently 2009, and there's a 3rd place finish as well in there. And Myers puts a little bit of extra oomph on that for the strikeout to keep the Little Giants off the scoreboard. So we head to the 9th The Scots will need to score at least 9 to keep this one going. We'll step aside on Wabash Live.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Ninth inning here on Wabash Live. It's the Little Giants 17 and the Scots 8. It'll be Garrett Crum trying to start the 9-run rally here in the 9th. Scots looking to go 9 in the 9 to keep this one going. I'd like to give a shout out to my dad who's probably watching. Surprised I haven't got any text yet asking why there's been no bagpipe musics at all on the broadcast this week. First pitch to Crum, misses ball 1. He's probably trying to text me right now. This inning might end before the text comes through.
That's usually the way it works. As soon as you give somebody a shout out, the text comes out. Text or the email.
Roberts, the 1-1 pitch. Chopped towards first. Great pick by Blevins there. Right on the line for the out.
Yeah, on the line to take any extra base hits away, and that's exactly what he did there. Just kind of reached out, had a good beat on it, gloved it, and made the little circle back to the bag for the first out. So Wabash now 2 outs away. Very quickly have to say hi to Tyler Burke. He's watching down in Dallas. He remembers the days of Matt Dodaro and Tyler Burke, who had one of the guttiest performances when Wabash knocked off North Central in the football playoffs. Thought we were going to have to carry Tyler Burke off the field, not because he was a hero, which he was, but because he was just to the point of exhaustion. A great memory, and then hugging his father after the game. Great photo in Wabash history.
It's 1-1 on Drew Torno, who bats against Brian Roberts with 1 away in the 9th inning. 17-8 Wabash over Wooster, our score. Torno last at bat gave the Scots new life with a 3-run homer out to right field. That was the 4th home run of the game for the Scots. But Wabash came right back in the home half of the 7th with a 4-run inning to climb back out by 9 runs. Tornow's going to rope one into center, and he's going to have a 2-hit day. Single for the senior right fielder. That'll bring up Nick Strasbaugh, who's officially in the game now as the designated hitter after entering back in the 7th as a pinch hitter. He was promptly nailed in the back of the helmet. Takes downstairs there, ball 1. That was relief.
Yeah, Kevin O'Donnell.
Pitcher Kevin O'Donnell, who came in, hit a pair of batters, but then it's been Brian Roberts since. And he's come back on short rest and has really pitched very, very well, given the turnaround time, because the Little Giants had that night game on Thursday that started at 8:30. And here he is less than 48 hours later. And he's going to be in line, should he pitch the duration of this one, for 2 1/3 innings of relief. Strasbaugh with the chopper out to short. Chavez to second for 1. And Strasbaugh just does beat it down the line. We haven't seen, with the ankle injury, Strasbaugh's definitely seemed to have lost a step on his speed down the line, as normally he would have beat that fielder's choice out easily. I mean, he obviously did there, but it was a really, really bang play down there at first.
Yeah, and Strasbaugh has excellent speed. We certainly saw that on the football field with a really quick go route on the very first play from scrimmage for a touchdown, and has shown that all through baseball through his 2 seasons, but did a good job of hustling to beat that play out. but it puts Wabash 1 out away from claiming the tournament championship.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be number 35, Noah Clement. He's hitting .313 on the year. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes here. He's batting in place of Harrison Walls. There's a called strike count now, 2-1 on the reserve outfielder. Harry Whitworth-Dukes, who has 2 homers on the day on deck. Should Clement reach here to keep the Scots' slim hopes alive. Again, it'll take a 2-out, 9-run rally for the Scots to keep this game going. They would also need to win this one and the next one. Obviously not looking super high probability right now.
The odds are dropping, shall we say.
Yes. And Wabash is 1 out away from its 2nd ever conference title. In the tournament, it comes right there with a line out to left field. And only fitting that Jared Wolf, who was the catalyst in the offense, getting the Little Giants out to a quick start in both games with a leadoff hit yesterday and today, reeling that one in for the final out of the game. So it's going to be Wabash 17, Wooster 8 is our final. Little Giants tournament champs for the 2nd time in program history, first time since 2011. And the curse of the 3 straight tournament title run continues as the Little Giants knock off the Scots twice in impressive dominating fashion in both games, Brent.
Well, I saw this team down in Arizona. We talked about the indoor track and field championships, and I left the next morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight to Arizona to watch these guys play. And you just sense there was something special about them. And they struggled a little bit just a week ago, got swept by DePaul, swept by Ohio Wesleyan, swept by Rose-Hulman to end the regular season with a 6-game losing streak. But they came out here and just said, let's relax. And I'm going to remember those words of Jackson Blevins. Let's just go out and remember this game is fun. We're here to have fun. And the Little Giants had plenty of fun, the dog pile on the field, and now we get the handshake line between the Scots, who also had an outstanding tournament, and there's still a lot to be heard from Wooster in the upcoming NCAA tournament, but just an outstanding job. You can't credit the work Zach Moffitt did in relief, and Brian Roberts dominant in the game against Denison on Thursday, and then closed out with the win here to get Wabash the win here in the championship game.
Yes, Roberts recorded the final 7 outs of the game. Moffitt's going to get the win. He's 4-0 now on the year. Hammond, the loser, 5-1. Any closing thoughts to this one, Brent?
I'm just, again, so proud of these guys. I'm so proud of the coaching staff and the job they've done. And, yep, you guys are going to make me do a little extra work, but it is all worth it as Coach Jake Martin gets the water and Gatorade and ice dumped on him, and Bryce Aldridge is out there leading the cheer as he gives Coach Cesar Barrientos a big hug. Hugs all around for the Little Giants as there's more baseball to play for Wabash and certainly more for Wooster as well. So 2 outstanding teams. It's the championship you wanted to see and a great tournament. We've seen some great baseball starting Thursday afternoon when Wooster started against Kenyon all the way through to this championship game.
Yeah, it's been a fun 3 days, Brent. Thanks for bringing all the equipment down from Wabash College.
Well, I want to give a quick shout out to Clayton Kaufman, to Kurt Ashcraft, and to Will Hubbard, who worked with me. Will's a senior at Denison. He has an outstanding career ahead of him. I've had a lot of Wabash fans who've come up to me after Will and I worked that game and said, I don't know who the young man working with you was, but he was really good and we enjoyed listening to him. So thanks to you, Will. We look forward to watching your career. I know you've done some minor league baseball during the summer. You're doing that again. We look forward to hearing from you down the road. There's some great things ahead of you. Kevin, thank you for all of your help, not just with the broadcasting today, also handling the scoring duties. And, of course, our thanks to Carrie, Brett, and Russell with the North Coast Athletic Conference. And our thanks to the folks here with the Chillicothe Paints for all of their outstanding work to get the stadium ready and all the support they show us. Final score this afternoon, Wabash wins the 2018 North Coast Athletic Conference Baseball Tournament Championship by a score of 17-8 over the College of Wooster Fighting Scots. Thanks for watching this afternoon and all week long, everyone. Wabash, watch the website. We'll tell you where the Little Giants are heading. Kevin Smith will have the information when the announcement comes out from the NCAA about the tournament as well on the College of Wooster website. More baseball to come for both these teams. Thanks for joining us, and Wabash fans, it's time to say it. These are some Little Giants, and Wabash always fights. Have a great afternoon and a great weekend, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at commencement on the Wabash campus. So long.